From the Pro Image Group of Companies, Pro Sport, in conjunction with the Victorian Football League, presents Pro Football.
Hello and welcome to more great VFL action in pro football. This week it's round 20 and a critical round for a number of clubs. Two in particular, North Melbourne and Fitzroy, clashing at VFL Park for the first time since 1981. Fitzroy at the moment, prior to this game, sitting in the 5. North outside and desperate for a win today. It was the game of the day at the park, and our commentators there from the opening bounce were Peter Landy and Lou Richards.
The first quarter of our match of the day, a very important one for both clubs. Light rain falling at the bounce. Fitzroy kicking to the right of screen. Knock on by Demetriou. Chance for the Kangaroos. A hand pass comes out to Dwyer. He's been in great form. It's booted back by Roos towards centre field. Osmond takes the hand pass from right half forward flank. Up toward full forward. Quinlan leading out beautifully. And takes the mark right on the 50-metre line. In the background, Steve McCann. So these two guys, certainly a wealth of experience between them. Quinlan in excess of 300.
A little bit disappointed McCann that time, a little bit lax the way he ran after him. Pete, he let him go quite easily.
So Superboot, who's had a lot of problems with Achilles injuries during the year, up towards full forward. Almost a mark to Cameron, that might be in the back. It is, and the free kick will go to Burning Harris, who gets up a little bit gingerly perhaps, but Harris to take the free kick directly in front of goal. And let's qualify that by saying he's about 10 metres out on a slight angle. He shouldn't have any problems in converting from there. He's hit the post. So a bad miss by Harris. Fitzroy opened the scoring at the minute mark. As I said, he got up a little bit gingerly.
Well, he's still limping, Pete.
Yeah. So Steve McCann to bring the ball back into play. McCann towards the outer side. Almost a mark down there to Crocker. Put it back into play. Demetriou fires up the hand pass to Atkins from right half back flank. Logan's attempted smother was partially successful. Ball up towards the VFL emblem on centre wing. Steele gets it over towards Demetriou. Demetriou's kick is a wild one. The bounce doesn't favour Roos, and it's picked up by Fairley. Fairley wobbles the punt kick up towards the right half forward flank. Almost a push in the back there, but Cracker's got the mark. That's Phil Cracker. Well, the pass was a good one. The attempt at marking wasn't particularly good. Loose ball out towards left half forward.
Good play on the part of young Dwyer that time. Showed a lot of pace. Now he's got to pick it up on the wing position. Kicks it off the ground. Sets him a play. And back it comes to that half forward line. Picked up beautifully by Osborne. Over it goes now to Condon. A hand pass coming out to McGrath. McGrath runs into trouble. Still gets his kick. Looking for Quinlan.
2 marks to Quinlan.
There's another chance for Quinlan to kick his first goal. He's only about 35 metres out from goal. He's gone for a short pass. A beauty too. Oh, dropped by Harris. He's got time to recover. Snap at the goals. Will it come around enough? It's 1 point. So that's 2 points to Harris, and Fitzroy go to 2 on the board to North Melbourne yet to score. If I'd have been Bernie Quinlan, Peter would have had a shot from there, old Superboot.
Well, Harris did make the loose man very, very well.
But I still think a player that can kick the ball like Quinlan should never pass the ball within kicking distance. Waiting now for Shimmerbush to take that mark down there in the back pocket position for North Melbourne.
His 296th game today. Could get 300 this year.
Certainly could. They've got to win today or they're out of the race for the 5. Oh, that'll be a free kick against Fitzroy. It'll go against Cameron. It'll go to Robertson out there on the half back line. Balks around Cameron nicely. Shoots the ball out wide, but the kick's a bad one. And there's the favourite for the Brownlow medal. Roos takes that mark at half back. The kick is not such a good one, a very high one. Smith in front, couldn't hold the mark. Robertson backing up well. Picks it up nicely out to Asiri. Asiri there at centre half forward looking for a lead. He's found Cracker. Oh, well played that time by Blakey, by McIver. McIver comes in. He's battling there with Cracker again. That is Phil Cracker right on the boundary line. The ball is out of bounds. Right on the 50-metre mark. in North Melbourne's attacking zone. So it'll be McDonald and Rendell to do battle in the ruck there. Knocked out by Rendell. Comes back to Dwyer. Oh, beautifully intercepted that time by Jimmy Cracker. The ball up towards the full forward position. And there's a good mark to Pert. He's got the job of minding Glendinning. And he's been a very good player over the last few weeks. That's a good pass out there to Thornton at half back. So into this quarter by 4.5 minutes. Fitzroy 2 points on the board to North Melbourne yet to score.
Bernie Harris seems to be moving okay. Started in the forward pocket. He's now up on the centre wing, so not limping as noticeably as he was before, and that's good news for Fitzroy. 37 for Fitzroy is Cameron. Haven't seen him play before. 26 is Harris. Harris got the knockout, but not really an effective one. Blakey does the shepherding. I know Peter Donnigan's a big rat for that player too. Harris takes the ball over the boundary line.
Well, he certainly is a good player, Blakey. You know, this is his first year with Fitzroy, and he hasn't put a foot wrong all year, and that's typical of Peter Donnigan too, when you think about it.
Doesn't put too many feet wrong on. Lou Schimmelbusch, as I said, trying to get 300 games this year. North, of course, must make the finals if he's to do that. Of course, Wayne's only played about 12 games this year, missed a lot through injury. He has been a great player for North Melbourne. Roos, as Lou said, one of the favourites for the Brownlow medal. Up towards Cameron, got two hands to it, couldn't take the mark. Ball socket off the ground, conditions very slippery at the moment. McGrath at half forward, doing battle with Law. Back into the North Melbourne side today, gets boot the ball, only a short kick, and the mark is taken by Pekin in front of Jimmy Cracken.
Fitzroy looking very strong at the moment. I know it's early days yet, but they're looking much stronger than North Melbourne.
They've been doing most of the attacking, certainly, but they haven't been able to put the scores on the board. Mark number 3 to Bernie Quinlan.
Now, he's got to have a shot from here.
Well, his nickname is Super Boot, but of course, with the Achilles injury that he has had, I don't think Quinlan is getting the distance with his kicks that he was earlier. 55 metres from goal.
Look at that one.
It's not a bad sort of a kick. Oh, he's put it through. And Super Boot living up to his name. Fitzroy's first goal. He did have the shot, and it was successful. The Lions by 8 points in the drizzle at VFL Park.
Well, that was the point I was making before. He's had 2 chances to score goals, and unselfishly, and that's typical of Bernie Quinlan. Watch this kick from the field. It's inside the 50-metre mark, so it was about 55 metres out. Went well up the post that time when it went through the goal. So a great goal to Bernie Quinlan. 3 marks and already kicked 1 goal.
7th big league from league headquarters. 6.5 minutes into the first quarter. The Lions by 8 points. I don't think there's any win advantage at the moment. Cooper gets offloaded. Picked up by Larkin. Larkin to half forward. Jimmy Cracker doesn't get a favourable bounce. His brother does. Phil Cracker, will he have a shot at goal? It's not bad. It might be. There it is. It's a goal. And so North reply within 30 seconds. And the Cracker brothers at it again. They trailed by 2 points, 8-6 at VFL Park.
Well, there's no doubt about these two guys. They play by radar. They're really magic. And you watch Phil Cracker scoot away, a funny style kicking for goal, but there's no doubt about the accuracy. It's squeezed in, but it's a goal nevertheless.
And Phil Cracker at North Melbourne's first goal of the afternoon. 2 points the difference in our match of the day. The Lions lead 8-6.
Set of bounce again. Knocked out by Rendell. There's a chance now for Thornton to get clear, but it's picked up by Asiri back towards North Melbourne's half. There's nearly a free kick to Cracker, but the umpire said no as Jimmy gets it over there to Dimitri, over to Phil. Phil's got the mark. So these two fellas, as I said before, they're magic. He'll go for a shot. He won't reach the distance. Looking there for Glendinning, pretty well covered by Pert. Got a hand to it, but the ball is out of bounds. Now, Glendinning this year has had a pretty poor season, but the last 2 weeks he bounced back into action. Now, they'll be relying on him today, but this rain is certainly going to spoil it for a player like Glendinning because he is a high mark. Rendell gets the tap down. Back to Cracker again. Pushed on by Pekin. Over there towards Robertson. Coming in as a series. He's grabbed there by Cotton, but the ball is out of bounds. But still in North Melbourne's attacking zone. About 40 metres out from their goal. It's inside the 50-metre attacking line. And there's no doubt about that 50-metre line, Pete. It's made a difference, particularly for the commentators. There's a free kick. It'll go to North Melbourne. It'll go to Steele for one in the back. Now, Steele would be about 40 metres out from goal, but he could make the distance here. North Melbourne at the moment, 1 goal, 6 points. Rain still falling pretty heavily. It's fine rain, but it's coming down pretty subtly, Pete.
We'll have it for a while, too. This seems fairly widespread.
Most unusual having rain out here at VFL Park. Ball punched out by Pert. Comes back to Cracker again. It's Phil Cracker over to Jim. Now Jim's clear. Goes for a pass. It's a grubber, not a good one. Comes back to McDonald. McDonald gets a snapshot at goal. This might be all right. It's a goal.
It was in front.
Good play on the part of North Melbourne then. And getting the ball over was Fairley. I think he's limping, got one on the thigh. We'll pick that up in a moment. Demetrio coming off the ground. So John Kennedy, their coach, is making quick changes. 2 goals. Watch that again.
Demetrio limping. He's had a lot of problems with hamstrings, and I'm inclined to think he's done another one.
Well, Fairley got that over at that time to McDonald, and a quick snap and a good snap by McDonald to a goal. So into the quarter by 9.5 minutes. It's 2 goals to North Melbourne, 12 points. To Fitzroy, 1 goal to 12. And of course, that's a good start to the Roos. They looked as though they were struggling early, but they've bounced back into action now as Law gets a high kick back towards centre half forward. But coming across to take an easy mark on the chest there is Hinchin.
Hinchin from the defending line of the square. Picked up by Harris. Harris has gone for a pass down to Quinlan for mark number 4. He's well on top of 200-gamer Steve McCann.
He's got to have a shot again, Pete. He was thinking about passing the ball.
But he made the distance from about 50 metres out, in fact, in excess of.
And, of course, McCann giving him a lot of latitude.
Much too much at the moment. He's about 40 metres out from here. Should get the distance. Quinlan has Super Boot brought up number 2. The goal umpire says yes. Fitzroy back in front. And so a great opening in these greasy conditions at VFL Park. 2-2 to 2 goals in our match of the day.
Well, we could have a great game on our hands because both these sides know the importance of the match. If Fitzroy lose today, they go out of the 5. Well, that's providing Footscray win and Collingwood win, of course. And North Melbourne win today, they keep their final 5 chances alive, Pete.
So 563 games between that pair. And so far, Bernie Quinlan has taken 4 marks and has kicked 2 goals. 2 points the difference. That was Quinlan's second. 14 plays 12 at league headquarters. Centre of the ground, not too bad.
I'm not too sure. I think I might have played against Bernie Quinlan. He's been around that long.
Wouldn't be surprised. You keep smoking those cigarettes, you won't be around much longer. Knocked down by Matt Rendell. We haven't seen Matt in the play too much today. He is, of course, playing his 100th game. Matt, of course, is another player who has had a lot of injury problems in the last couple of seasons at least. He really has had to battle to notch up the 3 figures. Doing battle here, wins that knockout, but it's knocked back by Law. A fumble by Smith, but he goes for the hand pass. That's effective onto Ramsey. Ramsey in turn, Atkins at right half-back flank. Short over the head of Schimmelbusch, but he might robe this okay. Gets buffeted by Cooper. Chance for Logan to pick the ball up. Good tackle by Fairley. And umpire Rowan Saws will bounce it right on the centre wing position. Let's hope that rain stops. I think the standard of the game could be very high this afternoon. It's winner take all. Thornton takes the hand pass at centre field. Thornton up to McCann and Quinlan. The latter has certainly had the better of that duel so far. McCann wins out here. He'll be content to go for the boundary line, or he might have kept it in play. Harris just can't quite get there. And the boundary throw in will follow about 55 to 60 metres out from goal. Kicks in favour of North Melbourne, 22 to 19 so far. Over the top is Harris. Good punch away. Steal the opportunity. The umpire's found a free kick for holding the man. It's going to Fitzroy. Billy Logan takes the free kick. Plenty of North defenders down there. It's picked up by Big Harris. Wobbles the punt kick to centre field. In front is Crack. Oh, he's biffed a Fitzroy guy right in the eye, and the umpire has called the advantage rule. Blakey on a little Dwyer, who's been a sensation since he came down here. Crocker, not a good hand pass. Over it goes to Ackerley. Had to look twice at him. He looks different without the beard, doesn't he? And it will be a mark or free kick, whatever, to Fairley at centre field.
Fitzroy player still in the hands of the trainer.
Knocked away by Gary Pert. Chance for Thornton. Steele at left half forward flank. The pass is okay, and the mark is taken by Larkin about 55 metres from goal.
Well, Larkin was going to pass the ball to a series, decided to go towards the goals. This is Cracker, and at the back is Hinchin, punches the ball out. Comes out to Roos, a quick hand pass coming over now to Pert. Pert out there at the 40-metre mark on their defence line. Schimmelbusch fumbles the ball but doesn't mess about. That's experience. And a beautiful pass off the ground there to Jimmy Cracker. Well, that's typical of Schimmelbusch. He knew he couldn't pick it up. There's a short one coming in now. It's a good one, and McDonald's got it from Cracker. They never waste a kick, those two boys.
I tell you what, they're looking pretty dangerous at the moment, aren't they?
Well, they're two of the best players on the ground, and Fitzroy have to do something about it pretty quickly because they'll rip them apart in no time. It'll be up to the Brains Trust, led by David Parker, for Fitzroy to do that. He'll probably have to look through the clipboard and the statistics to find out what's happening here. They usually do that, these coaches. There's the kick, that's a goal. Two goals to McDonald, and of course good work of the two Crackers down there on the forward lines, causing Fitzroy plenty of trouble. 3 goals, 18 points. North Melbourne to Fitzroy, 2 goals, 2-14. But watch that again. I think this was an accident just the same with the Cracker boy hitting the... Well, he couldn't do much about that, Jimmy. Well, I reckon it was an accident, Pete. Now, you watch this pass from Cracker after he received one off the ground that time from Schimmelbusch. That was a perfect pass. So we're back in the centre again. And Fitzroy in front, North Melbourne in front, 18 plays 14. Rain still pelting down. Ball knocked out by Rendell, dominating the ruck. It goes back there to Ramsey, misses the ball. There's a free kick there to Bernie Harris. He's played a fairly good game this first quarter. Another 15-metre penalty. This brings him right over the half-forward line.
3 kicks to Harris so far.
Go for the long kick, looking for Bernie Quinlan. Punched out by McCann. The ball goes to the boundary line and out of bounds. But it's out of bounds about 40 metres around from the Fitzroy goal. They're 2-2 to Fitzroy to North Melbourne. 3 straight goals on the board. Ball back into play again. Quinlan missed that completely. Kicked off the ground by Conlon. McCann scoops it up nicely. Gets a hurried kick. And back there towards that half back line. Schimmelbusch coming in to meet it. Cop one from Rendell. He rebounded pretty well to get that back there, looking for Dwyer. Dwyer on the boundary lines, kicked it out of bounds on the full. And that'll be a penalty free kick going to North Melbourne down there on that 50-metre defence line. There's a few of them look alike down there. Zach Lee and Ramsey. Thank heavens that Demetrio went off the ground. No relation to Corcomelis. Of course, we see the big fella Rendell take the mark. As we said at the early part of this match, this fella means so much to Fitzroy playing well.
Robertson limping.
Robertson in a bit of trouble as the ball goes back there towards the full forward position. It's punched out by Harris. The umpire's found a free kick. It'll go to Law for interference from McGrath. So Law to take the free kick in between full-back and centre-half back positions. 16.5 minutes gone of this first quarter. It's 3 goals straight. North Melbourne 18 points to Fitzroy 2-2-14. Chance for McDonald over his head. He's got a chance to pick this up on the bounce if he's good enough, but Thornton beat him to it. Hooked it back. That was a miraculous kick backwards, actually. Comes out to steal. A hand pass coming over now to Jimmy Cracker. Fumbled that one. Nearly got his fingers chopped off. As the ball is kicked back there by Fitzroy, back towards Blakey it was. Ramsey couldn't get it out. He finally comes out now to Ackley. Over it goes to Schimmelbusch. A bump, but he's clear the North Melbourne skipper with a long kick up there towards the full centre-half forward position. Flying high, kicked off the ground by Jimmy Cracker over to Phil. This will be another one for sure. And the Crackers are killing him down there on the forward line. They're ripping him apart.
2 goals to Phil Cracker. North Melbourne's 4th. The Kangaroos lead by 10 points.
It's amazed me that they haven't sent someone out to tag these 2 guys, because that's the normal procedure before the game starts, Pete.
Crackers have been in everything so far up on the forward line. Probably Phil's been the more effective. Certainly he's been the more damaging. As I said, he's got 2 goals.
I think Jim's been pretty handy too. He's been knocking the ball onto him.
4 kicks and 2 marks to Phil Cracker and 1 handball. 17.5 minutes have gone in the first quarter, and that was Cracker's 2nd goal. That's Phil Cracker. It comes out to Robertson, who seems to have recovered from that knock. He got a short time back. Out towards centre wing position. Thornton and Steele. Out to Clayton. Back to Thornton again. Atkins was in the road, though. He might beat Loken to it as well. Fired out a long hand pass to Arsiri right on the boundary line. His kick is well smothered. It's out of bounds, and will take a boundary throw it at the 18-minute mark of the term. North Melbourne starting slowly.
As a matter of fact, they've sent Knight on the ground to tag one of the Cracker boys. I have to pick up what Cracker boy that is, Pete.
Harris.
Taking a while to work that one out.
And Rendell. Ball scooped out to Osborne. Haven't seen much of him so far. Robertson comes out with the ball. A long hand pass, but a badly directed one is intercepted by Cooper. On to Robertson again. Tries to get around Mickey Conlon. He's been noticeable by his absence so far. And the boundary umpire indicating again that the ball was over the line. A throw-in will follow. This rain very, very persistent now. A little bit heavier than it was at the start of the game. 26 Harris, 35 McGrath. Blakey. High ball to the 50-metre line. McCann, a juggle, will be paid. In pass again. Darren Crocker. Crocker from right half-back flank up towards centre wing. Any overhead mark today is a good one. And taken by Paul Roos. One of the favourites for the Brownlow. Seems very open this year. He's certainly polled well, though. The players that really puts in a bad game. Oh, another juggle there, almost played to law, but the umpire says no. Blakey again to half forward. The mark is taken by Ackerley. She still had his beard. McCann still has. Playing game number 200. And towards Phil Cracker. Phil Cracker brilliant so far. Leaves Hinchin for dead. Almost caught down there by Cameron. That was a good tackle. And the ball spills into the arms of Hinchin. Out the centre wing again, and Ackerley. Ackerley down towards left half forward. Oh, fine mark to Hinchin over the top of Phil Cracker. Fitzroy's defence tightening up a little bit. Fitzroy fans would indeed be pleased with that because it was pretty loose for about 10 minutes or so there, in which McDonald got 2 and Cracker got 2 goals, taken by McIver. McIver to half forward for Fitzroy. Out to Quinlan for kick number 5. Quinlan down to Conlon. Conlon fumbles, but we can make excuses for guys today. It's very slippery. He's gone for a hand pass, and that's okay. McGrath has a shot at goal. Off target and 1 point. And so Fitzroy take their total to 2-3, and they trail North Melbourne by 9 points.
Into the first quarter by just on 20.5 minutes. Short pass. It's okay. Marked here by McCann. Hand pass coming out now to Schimmelbusch there at the 50-metre defence line. A pass, it's too long, and marked right on the line that time by Thorpe. Well, that was too long that time for Harris. Fitzroy back into attack. At the back there is Robertson, goes the punch. The 2 number 12s, gets it away from Conlon. The ball is out of bounds. About 40 metres around from the Fitzroy goal. They're 15 points to North Melbourne, doing pretty well. 4 straight shots for goal, 24 points. Pretty miserable day there as we see Harris get the ball, and McCann, he made a mess of that. He goes after it again, smothers it. Well, they're all having a go there now, and the umpire's going to ball it up about 30 metres out from the Fitzroy goal. I think they've got Knights on Jimmy Cracker, and of course Hinchin's got the job of minding Phil Cracker down there on the forward pocket, but both those boys have ripped them apart in this first quarter. Kicked off the ground again by Robertson, doing his best out there. A hand pass comes out from Robertson. Goes over to Schimmelbusch. He was legged. The umpire didn't pay any attention to that one. The guy certainly grabbed him by the leg then, and Schimmelbusch is not too happy about it. But the ball is out of bounds just on the 50-metre defence line for North Melbourne. Got hold of his leg there again. Well, it might have been a bit high. That would give the umpire the okay to say that's all clear, because it's got to be down below the knee, I should imagine, before they class that as legging. So we may have been wrong on that occasion. It could be the umpire that was right. Waiting now for the ball to come back into play. It's still on that 50-metre defence line for North Melbourne. McGrath and Harris to go for the knock-it. Conlon got that one back to Robertson. He fumbled the ball, but don't blame them for that, because it's pretty slippery out there as the series cops one. But once again, the umpire will ball it up just on the 22.5-minute mark of this first quarter. Crowd very disappointing here today, around about the 15,000 mark, I would say. What a great tribute to both these sides playing in the match of the day. Going through is Steele, gets it back to Asiri. McDonald comes in, tries to smother the ball, and it'll be out of bounds again. So players is in a bit of a stalemate over there, Pete, because it's been held up on that side of the ground for the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Despite that, the standard of play hasn't been too bad.
Well, it's been pretty good. That's why I'm surprised with the crowd, Pete, because these two sides have got a bit of talent amongst them.
They have. Harris gets the knockout, picked up by Luck, and he can't get clear. The centre wing position, conditions becoming very slippery at the moment. That's little Dwyer getting the hand pass. He gets it back again from Matt Rendell. Came from Kurut, and he's played some very good games since he came down here. This is Scott McIver, former Queenslander. I don't think he'd be too happy with the conditions today. McIver up towards full forward. Ball knocked into the arms of Bernie Harris as a snapshot of goal. That's not looking too bad. The goal umpire says full points. And he's put it through. So a great snapshot by the little rover. 4 goals to 3-3, a difference of 3 points as the rain still tumbles down.
Well, he's been their most Well, let's say one of their best players in this first quarter, young Harris. He could have easily kicked another couple of goals because he missed a couple of easy shots. And you watch him go up. That's a fine left foot snap. Poor goal, and of course that's put Fitzroy back in business again.
One way to watch the football on a day like today. 3 points the difference, still in favour of North Melbourne. That was Bernie Harris's first goal. 24 plays 21. And as I said, conditions not too good for football, but the standard has been quite fair. Up towards North Melbourne's half-forward line. Cracker tries to knock the ball clear into the open spaces, doesn't succeed. Free kick going the Kangaroos' way to Fairley for a push in the back. Fairley's gone for a short pass into the goal square, and Glendinning, Pert right there with him, tries to punch it clear. Phil Cracker, will he get there first on the boundary line? Brindle tries to offload him.
He got a free kick, he copped it too high.
And that going crook.
Well, he got him, Pete, there was no doubt about it.
He got him all right. The umpire said it was illegal. We don't dispute that he got him. Brindle saying he pushed him in the back, or pushed him.
No, I got him on the back of the ear, on the top of the head. Well, on the side of the head wherever your ear is stuck.
Yes, right next to your mouth. That big.
That's right. Thank you, Pete. Well, there was no doubt about it. He took the chance to go through because he had no hope in the world of getting around Rendell. So he decided to force his way through, and of course he copped one, and to his benefit, he's got a shot now for goal.
Goal number 3. 4 kicks, 2 handballs, and 2 marks to Phil Cracker. What's he done with that one? One behind. I think it was very nearly out of bounds, so Fitzroy fans breathe again. Let's take a look at that again from a lower angle. As you'll see, number 9, Matt Rendell, come in from the side. He did get him.
Of course he got him right on the ear.
Right below the ear. The rain has eased off just a fraction. As Gary Pert prepares to bring the ball back. I'm sure he'll pole well on the ground though too. That's a mammoth kick, isn't it? Almost to the centre square line. Picked up by Fairley. He's got the hand pass out to Law. Law's kick is a high one. Pert into the back of Glendinning for sure.
That was a bit of bad luck for Pert because he did slip Pert as he was going after him.
So Glendinning with his first kick of the afternoon. Could just about bring up 2 flags from there. It's going pretty close, got the distance. Didn't take too much time with that kick and puts it through for only 1 point. And so the scoreboard showing North Melbourne 4-2, Fitzroy 3-3, a difference of 5 points. We're into the time on period by 1 minute and a quarter.
Waiting for the ball to come back into play by Gary Pert. He's got the job of minding Glendinning today. Glendinning struck form the last 2 weeks, but so far he's been well upheld as the ball is knocked down again. Going after that time was Clayton. He goes down. Siri gets it out now to Big Harris. A hurried shot up towards Glendinning. Got a chance. Here's a go for Steele. He could get this through. He has. That was a good piece of play on the part of Steele. Anticipated the kick off the ground beautifully. So it's 5 goals, 2-32 North Melbourne to Fitzroy 3-3-21. Well, watch that again off the top of Glendinning's hands. And Steele didn't hesitate. That was a good bit of soccer play on the part of young Steele. So that looks good for North Melbourne. They're in front now by 11 points.
48 kicks to 39. The marks 11 to 15 in favour of Fitzroy. Handballs an advantage of 1 to the line.
Set a bounce again. Into the quarter by just over 27 minutes. 11 point. Rendell got that. Not a good one. Kicked off the ground by Larkin. The ball driven back there. Picked up. Oh, he went without it that time, Ackley. Crocker's there too. McIver. No one can get clear, and the umpire will ball this up right on the edge of the square out towards the centre wing position.
Rain clearing too, Lou, I think.
Well, it's about time. About time. It's a pity we haven't got a bigger crowd here today because it's not a bad game of football. As we see Rendell get it out to McIver. He's grabbed, picked up by Robertson. A kick high towards the half-forward line. Punched out by McDonald. The umpire's found a free kick against McDonald. It'll go to Cameron, but he's got to go back over the mark, trying to sneak clear that time. So he's out there on the centre wing position with a chance to go direct. Oh, he's going wide with a hand pass. And it's Knight. Well, there's a mark. I don't know if he knew he took that time, Osborne, but it fell into his arms on his chest. He's kicked his boot off now because he wants to be a bit more comfortable from about 65 metres out. Looking for Bernie Quinlan, making a lead now in front of McCann. He flew but couldn't get the ball. Picked up by Harris. This will be another goal for sure. So they're bouncing back Fitzroy. Bernie Harris doing a great job down there on the forward line. 5 goals, 2-32 North North Melbourne to Fitzroy, 4-3-27.
That was Bernie Harris's second goal. Quinlan has 2 for Fitzroy, McDonald 2, and Phil Cracker 2 for North Melbourne.
Well, he's been a pretty handy play down there, Harris. He's had 6 kicks for this quarter, Pete.
6 kicks, 2 free kicks, and he's capped it off with 2 nice goals. Actually, he's kicked 2 so far. Let's watch the mark of Richard Osborne. It was a couple of grabs here, and Osborne comes down with it. Had to kick it -1 boot back into the centre.
Centre bounce again. A scrimmage developing there again. The umpire said he's found a free. Now it'll be a ball up. Still around about the centre field area. Just over the 29-minute mark. 5 points the difference. A very close tussle because both these sides know the importance of this game. North Melbourne lose. They're gone beyond recall. Fitzroy got a win to stay in the 5th. We see the ball picked up by Law, one of their most reliable defenders. Larkin goes down, can't get clear. Another stack up there again, and the umpire will ball it out towards the edge of the ball it up towards the edge of the square, out towards the centre wing position on the outer side. Scoreboard: 4 goals, 3-27. Fitzroy to North Melbourne, 5-2-32.
Standard of football quite high so far in the opening term. Let's hope that continues, certainly. Billy Logan's kick, not too long, out towards the centre wing position. Smith gets the handball and gets offloaded. The free kick will be downfield. Admittedly, that's only some 15 metres, and it will be on the centre wing position. Here it is again. Looks like a nice overhand left from young Dwyer. Free kick going to McDonald, who's got 2 goals so far in the opening term. 2 Fitzroy players nearly collided there, but the siren goes as Fairley picks the ball up and has a shot at goal. That score won't be counted. And at quarter time, North Melbourne leading 5-2, 32, a 5-point advantage over Fitzroy, 4-3-27. Second quarter from VFL Park, 5 points in favour of North Melbourne. 9 goals kicked for the quarter. And that was a good effort because we had rain pretty well right throughout. Picked up by Pekin. Doesn't get it very far. Chance for the Lions, Dwyer to drive the Lions forward. Up comes McCann. Mammoth punch away, back to Crocker. Crocker at the edge of the square. Dribbles it up towards Cameron. Cameron's balk, effective. Likewise, the hand pass out to Jamie Cooper. Cooper down towards right half forward, knocked away by Crocker, but picked up by McIver. Down towards Dwyer again, but it's out of bounds, and the throw-in will follow as we approach the 1-minute mark of the term.
Waiting for the ball to come back. It's down out towards that centre wing position. Hand pass coming over from Roos. Back it goes now to McIver. McIver out there on the centre wing position. Drives it up to centre half forward. Quinlan got up high. Grabbed off the top of the pack by Ackley. A shocking kick. McIver's got another chance to grab this one. Got his hands to it. Couldn't hold the mark. Dwyer gets it out again. Over it goes to Blakey. Blakey's kick is well over the half forward line. Quinlan got a hand to it. Backing up well as Law. Had a fantastic first quarter. Kicks the ball out towards the centre wing position. Coming in as Hinchin, they pounce on him. Cracker's there too, couldn't get it clear. It's picked up now by Cameron, back to Rendell. He's dominated the knockouts from the ruck. McIver anticipated the bounce beautifully. A long hand pass to Clayton. Clayton at the half forward, drops the ball short. But there's a good mark in defence taken here by Smith. Smith over to Ramsey. Ramsey inside the 50-metre line, goes short. That's a good pass here to Phil Cracker.
Still ground so far, though.
Well, he's kicked 2 goals so far. He's been a bit of dynamite down there on the forward line. Coming in to meet it now is Cooper. Picked up by Thornton. Oh, there's a chance for Steele. Short pass, not a good one. Glendenning picks it up on the first hop. Good play by Glendenning, but well smothered by Pert. Glendenning after it again. Hooks it back, but to the wrong man. Picked up now again by Fitzroy as the ball comes out wide. A chance for Roos to pick it up on the back pocket. A short pass. It'll be okay. And the ball picked up here now by Pekin. Pekin's out there at half back. Drives the ball long up towards the half forward line. Conlon in front. Punched out by Schimmelbusch. Looks as though he's got the job of tagging him today because he's stuck with him all day. And of course, Conlon hasn't had many touches, Pete.
1 kick he's had so far, and 3 handballs.
I think Schimmelbusch has had about 6 possessions in the first quarter.
Still no addition to the quarter-time score as we approach the 3-minute mark of the second term. A difference of 5 points. Blakey, hand pass under pressure. Cameron, Jimmy Cracker right on his hammer. Excellent tackle. Ackley in all sorts of troubles as well. Law overruns the ball. Umpire Soares has found a free kick. going to Ackley. Now minus the beard. Glad to see him and Roy Ramsey out there, both with their beards. It's probably a blessing in disguise. Now Roos has the front running, but doesn't get a good bounce. Fairly does. Now it's back to Roos with the ball too close to the boundary line. A throw-in will follow. The rain has stopped at VFL Park and conditions much clearer now after that persistent drizzle we had in the first quarter.
Ground's still pretty slippery, but that'll dry up pretty quickly out here, Pete.
I
We
think
don't get
so.
any more rain.
Knocked out by Matt Rendell through the legs of Jimmy Cracker. Socket off the ground to Law. Law's kick short. Back to the boundary line again. Once more a throw-in to follow. So still no addition to the quarter-time score, which showed that North Melbourne led by 5 points, 5-2 to 4-3 in our match of the day. Right half-forward flank for the Roos. Knocked away by Rendell, certainly not very far. Into the arms of Matthew Larkin, ultimately. Larkin to the 50-metre line. Roos, again going defensively towards the boundary line. Content to see the boundary umpire throw it in.
Well, Rendell's dominated the knockouts, Pete, but they're not getting the ball away from his knockouts.
No, North around the ground have taken all the points insofar as the crumbs are concerned, with the Crackers doing very well. There they are again, but it's Hinchin this time that wins out. Hinchin to centre wing. 3 North Melbourne players are there. None can take the mark. Bernie Harris has possibly been their best rover. Back to Clayton. McIver tries to crash his way through. Bernie Harris again gets offloaded by Law, the 2 number 13s. Smith, Ackley, Larkin. Larkin beats the tackle from Hinchin, goes for a pass, not a particularly good one. Cameron's there. Long hand pass to Dwyer. He'll get clear of McDonald. Short pass to Conlon. And the second kick to Mickey Conlon. Possession number 6 though, down towards Schimmelbusch. Can't take the mark in front of Richard Osborne. In goes McIver for backup support. And the umpire has decided on a bounce at the 5-minute mark at the second term.
And Schimmelbusch has got a knock on the head, but he seems okay. He's had plenty of those in his day. 5-2 to 4-3 in favour of North Melbourne. Well, there'll be just a no. The umpire said no free kick as Asiri kicks it off the ground. Yeah, he found a free kick, but he was pretty low. Took a while to nominate that. It'll go to Ramsey out there at half-back. I thought he got into his back. So Ramsey to take the free kick at half-back for North Melbourne. Waiting on Ramsey to have this kick. Rain stopped. That's the best news we've had all day. Rendell fairly went to the tap on. The ball is out of bounds, but at least it's going down towards North Melbourne's half-forward line. It's in between the centre wing and half-forward flank positions. Rendell and McDonald for the knockout. Rendell grabbed that one, finally got a hurried kick, but not a good one. Atkins is there, but ball punched on by Thornton, grabbed by Logan. He's grabbed it, goes Cracker. That was Jimmy Cracker. The ball finally kicked high back towards centre half forward. No one can take the mark as they go now for North Melbourne's Fitzroy's Clayton to drive it down there towards the full court position. McCann, very steady, takes that mark out to Smith. Smith gets the ball over to Schimmelbusch. Schimmelbusch hooks the ball out wide, looking there for Robertson, but he gave Logan one on the back. Logan's in a bit of trouble here. Jimmy Cracker went after him there. Jimmy Cracker coming in again. A great tackle by Jimmy, but the umpire called play on as Logan picks it up again. A short pass, too long that time for Blakey. Clayton there having a battle with Larkins, and the umpire will ball it up around about the centre field area. Well, there's plenty of pressure put on by both sides. 32 plays 27 in favour of North Melbourne.
Nearly 7 minutes gone in this quarter and no score.
Well, they're both sides knowing the seriousness of this game. Fumble that time by Cooper. The series there too, and once again we get a ball up.
And the sun comes out too to make conditions a little bit more pleasant.
Well, I think we may have lost the rain for some time because the sun, as Pete said, is coming out, or it's out. Ball up. Rendell against Harris. Harris got that one to steal. A hurried kick back towards the half-forward line. There's a chance now for Logan, but it's kicked off the ground by Roos. Picked up that time by North Melbourne back towards their half-full. That was Smith. There's a go for Jimmy Cracker now. Running shot at goal. It'll come around just about enough. It's a goal. Oh, they're good, these two guys. There's no doubt about that. 6 goals, 238 North Melbourne. And Fitzroy, 4-3-27.
I think it's interesting that when North Melbourne had their bad patch in the middle of the year, both of the Crackers were sidelined. Jimmy Cracker got suspended for 4 weeks, if my memory serves me correctly, and his brother Phil was on the sidelines after he broke a wrist. It was the match at the SCG, and he was out for a similar period, almost concurrently. Jimmy's first goal. North Melbourne lead by 11 points. That was the first score in the second quarter. We are just past the 8-minute mark at the turn. The sun's out, so that's good news. Roos's kick is partly smothered. Ball thumped further forward and picked up by Blakey. Lobbed high towards the edge of the square. Schimmelbusch had it and then lost it. Still got his kick in. And that will be a mark end or free kick to Fairley.
It's an amazing thing. They've got Schimmelbusch tagging Conlon down there at half-back, and he's been such an attacking player all these years, Pete.
And he's done well, though, today.
Certainly has.
Except Mickey Conlon fairly quiet.
Down to one kick, I think it is.
These guys haven't been too quiet, the crackers, but Jimmy can't get clear on this occasion. Good bump by Larkin. Put his opponent out of business, but the ball dribbling towards the boundary line in front of Atkins, and the throw-in will follow. Number 27 is Jamie Cooper. Rendell jockeying for the front position, gets it. He's got most of the hit outs, but they haven't been well directed. Robertson towards full forward. Now another chance for Phil Cracker at the 50-metre line. He's gone for the hand pass. Not a good one on this occasion. It was intended for Fairley, but Cooper chips in beautifully. Thornton and Ramsey. Thornton wins out. Back to Cooper. Cooper from the 50-metre defence line towards centre wing. McIver, two hands to it. Can't take the mark. Breaks the tackle well onto Dwyer. Larkin in pursuit. Dwyer's kick, not a good one. Law in front of McGrath. Dribbles the kick back to Dwyer and Larkin. Larkin might win this duel, though. But Dwyer got one at the back. Wasn't too happy with that. Ramsey on left centre wing. Opportunity for North Melbourne to go deep into attack as he goes for a pass. Tries to find Glendinning. Pert right there with him. And Pert, very cleverly done, gets the ball over the boundary line. That was good defence.
Certainly was, Pete.
So a boundary throw in with the score 6-2 to 4-3. 10 minutes gone in the turn.
11 points the difference. The ball out of bounds on that North Melbourne half-forward, on about 70 metres around from their goal. Well, neither ruckman got an advantage there. The ball kicked away by Cameron up towards the Fitzroy half-forward line off the top of the pack. Harris went between his legs that time. It's Ackley getting it out. Back it goes now. Getting under the ball was Blakey. Picked up by Thornton. Backing up well. Chance for Crocker. Punched out by Ackley again. Back it comes to Robertson. A hand pass out wide. There's a go now for Larkin to send it deep into attack. Looking for Glendinning. It's too long, but Cracker's there too. Pert got his hands to it. Glendinning bounces out of the pack beautifully. Hooks it back towards the goal, but Roos got a chance to mark it. He does. Very safe play, and I think we mentioned the first quarter. This fella's the favourite for the Brownlow medalist. He's had a great season for Fitzroy. Fitzroy trailing by 11 points. Didn't kick that like a Brownlow medal. Oh, there's a free kick to Cracker. Picked up by Phil. He's looking for Jimmy, but couldn't get it. Kicked off the ground by Fitzroy again. Hinchon got that back, but it's marked by Harris. Fitzroy in a bit of trouble at the moment. Good pass. And McDonald's got the ball about 55 metres out from goal. Now, McDonald, I think he's kicked 2 goals, Pete, hasn't he?
He has kicked 2, and so too is Phil Cracker.
Waiting on McDonald. Now, McDonald can kick the ball a fair distance. He's either good or he's pretty bad. That's what he can do this time for North Melbourne's sake. Yes, he is. That's a long kick. Look at this one. Oh, God, what a kick. How about that for a kick by McDonald? What a ripper. 7-2-44 North Melbourne to Fitzroy. 4 goals, 3-27.
3 goals to Donald McDonald, the leading goal kicker in the match to date. As I mentioned, Phil Cracker has 2, Quinlan 2, and Harris 2 for Fitzroy.
Look at that going, Pete. They're the sort of kicks you dream of, and that would certainly make that guy very happy.
I think the goal umpire got a stiff neck because he watched that one sail through almost at post height. Must have travelled about 70 metres. 3 goals to Donald McDonald, 12 and a quarter minutes gone in the second quarter, 7-2 to 4-3. So North Melbourne doing it quite well, thank you. As Fitzroy go into attack, but beaten back by McCann. Good tackle by Bernie Quinlan. Ackley got the hand pass out. Schimmelbusch did some useful work down there in defence so far today. Coleman's been fairly quiet, gets the hand pass over to Bernie Harris, and it bounces through for 1 point, or does it go out of bounds? No, it's out of bounds. Finished up in play, but it did cross the line, and so the throw-in will take place adjacent to the behind post. Fitzroy badly needing a goal. They started off well with Quinlan in top form, but McCann has got on top in the latter part of the first quarter, the first part of this one.
Well, they're not delivering the ball as well to Quinlan as they were in that first 10 minutes or 15 minutes of the first quarter. Played just the same, in fairness to Quinlan. But McCann, he's forward back. I must go along with you there.
7-2 to 4-3 is the score. 13 minutes gone. Quinlan tries to get front posse. Beaten by Harris, who spins out well but loses it. Then puts on a good tackle. Ball just about thrown out of the pack. Schimmelbusch takes advantage of that. Rendell, playing his 100th game for the Lions, wobbles the punt kick up towards the half-forward flank. Oh, Cotton runs into an opponent, bounces off him. Smith goes for the hand pass. Back it comes to Ackley. And Rendell takes the easiest of marks on right centre wing. Gets the hand pass out to Cameron, to half-forward. Schimmelbusch playing a good game down there.
Certainly is.
Now, chance for Little Siri to soccer the ball forward. Rendell, got one at the back for mine. The umpire didn't agree. I don't think the Fitzroy fans appreciated that too much. Robertson tries to break clear. Darren Crocker up to half-forward and Fairley. One hand to it. He didn't well to palm it on to Phil Cracker. Tries to get around Hinchin. Partly smothered. Glendinning. Pert in pursuit. Glendinning dummies beautifully. Back onto the right foot. In towards the 10-metre square. Fairley almost took the mark. Good backing up down there by Fitzroy as the hand pass was taken away by Roos after it came from Blakey. But it's all North Melbourne, and Little Siri takes the mark.
Siri with the ball now at half-forward. Drives it up there towards the centre half-forward position. But a good mark taken here by Pekin. He's inside the 50-metre defence line. Goes for a hand pass. Could be dangerous, but it's okay. Blakey back to Logan now. Logan's kick is a short one. It's all right. Well intercepted from Thornton, that time by Ackley. Punched away by Logan again. There's a go now for Bernie Harris. He's grabbed by Atkins, kicked off the ground. But that's okay. It got it away from Fitzroy, even though there's a penalty free kick on the full. They're playing more determined football. They're looking good. 44 plays 27. That's 17 points the difference into the quarter. That's the second by 15 and a half minutes just about. Shocking kick, and Robertson over to Jimmy Cracker. They're killing the Crackers. Out it goes to Phil. He's out there on his own. But aren't they working beautifully together? That's Raider personified as we see a beautiful pass coming there to Fairley. Got something about them, these two. They just know where to look, don't they?
You said Radar, just about like that, isn't it?
Waiting now for Fairley from that kick. That's a long one too. It's covering plenty of distance. That's another goal, and the Roos are looking really good. Now they move on to 8 goals, 250 to Fitzroy, 4 goals, 327.
23 points the difference. That was Fairley's first goal, but of course the Crackers in the thick of things again. Phil Cracker has had 8 kicks and 3 handballs so far.
And incidentally, Fitzroy haven't scored. Now watch how he spots Phil Cracker, and of course we know the result of that, a goal from that short pass to Fairley. They haven't scored Fitzroy in this second quarter. They're in plenty of trouble. 50 plays 27, a difference of 23 points. Knocked out by Rendell. He's been the best ruckman on the ground by a mile, but the smaller men are not getting the ball away from those knockouts. We could say that he's not knocking to a man, but I think they've been smothered or they're sharked away by these North Melbourne smaller men. They're doing a great job. Young Robertson's not bad around the centre area either. Ackley again spins out of the pack after snatched out of the pack. There's a chance for Cracker. He's got it again. That's Phil Cracker playing a great game. Jimmy it is this time. Well, it's not hard to confuse. This is Phil this time. Well, he got one in the back. But what's it matter? You just say Crackers, and you know either one of them going to give it to the other one. Now he's about 50 metres out from goal. You look for a lead, and you can bet your life they won't waste the kick. As I said, there it is, a beautiful pass, and the ball grabbed here by McDonald. McDonald's already kicked 3 goals. Must be great for those big fellas playing down there for the 2 Cracker, because they certainly think for them, don't they? They've got to worry about it. They're planted right on their chest for them.
Spoken like a true Roman there, but McDonald has kicked 3 goals.
Going for goal number 4 from about 40 metres out. Kicked a magnificent goal. His last one must have gone about 60 metres.
It was a great kick, wasn't it?
We're waiting for this now. There's the kick by McDonald. That's not so hot. No one can take the mark. Coming in to meet it now is Roos. His kick is smothered that time by Larkin. And the ball is out of bounds, about 30 metres around from the North Melbourne goal. And boy, they're looking good. 8 goals, 250 to Fitzroy. 4 goals, 327 as we approach the 18-minute mark of the second quarter.
Fitzroy is still to score in the second term. The difference is 23 points. They're not out of it by a long shot. but they would have to improve. Perhaps they can here as Hinchin takes the ball. Short kick to centre field, which is becoming pretty cut up at the moment. Arsiri turns on a threepenny bit, puts North Melbourne back deep into attack. Oh, Glendinning, good mark! Outmanoeuvred Gary Perkin. That's not easy.
Fitzroy yet to score in the second quarter, Pete.
As we watch that mark again, and this is a perfect example of how to use the body and play in front. And Glendinning doing just that. Well within kicking distance. He's only 35 metres from goal. Directly in front. Drifted off a little bit away from the goal umpire. It's a behind. And so North Melbourne bring up their third. 8-3, 51 as Rendell comes off the ground. And Fitzroy 4-3, 27. 27 is Cooper racing for the ball from the kick out at the 50-metre defence line. He's gone for a short pass, and that's effective. Mark is taken by McIver. McIver tries to find Loken. Or Pekin it is. Either way, he's not successful.
How was that play on the part of Jimmy Cracker? That was a magnificent play.
But the ball away from his opponent, out of bounds, thrown to follow and centre wing.
I can't quite work it out bringing Reeves on in place of Rendell. This will give Harris the chance to get back on top of the ruck, Pete.
Yes, Reeves is not really a true ruckman, is he?
Certainly not.
Off the ground from Conlon. Conlon towards right half forward flank at the 50-metre line. Law making front position is well shepherded. Osborne, he's been very quiet today. Hardly had a touch. Conlon goes for the hand pass. Now it's picked up by Dwyer. But Fitzroy's forward work leaving a lot to be desired. McCann comes out from full-back. A chance for Bernie Harris. He's kicked two so far. Snap over the head will be their first score for the quarter, and it's a goal. Well, a lone forward at the moment, Bernie Harris. That was his third, 8-3 to 5-3, and the Lions trail by 3 goals. Here it is again.
Well, a good play on the part of Fitzroy, but as Pete said, Bernie Harris has been certainly their most effective forward. He was their best player in the first quarter. I think he and Rendell have carried the side, but Rendell's gone off the ground. He's been replaced by Reeves.
11 possessions,
not a bad
Harris. He's done fairly well, hasn't he? And as I said, capped it off with 3 good goals. Sevens big league, 20 minutes into the second quarter, 3 goals the difference, and that was Harris's third goal. Fitzroy need a few more. They get booted forward by Blakey up towards half forward, but Darren Crocker in the road and takes the grab in front of Osborne. Osborne's been almost kickless so far. Out to Smith. Smith at left half back flank. Fairly leading in the race for the ball. Now it's down to Arsiri, and the ball paddled over the line by Roos. A boundary throw-in will follow.
And we're just on the 21-minute mark. 8 goals, 3:51 North Melbourne to Fitzroy 5-3-33. Ball out of bounds about 80 metres around from the North Melbourne goal. Knocked out that time by Reeves. Ball kicked away by Blakey up there towards Crocker. Went the punch. Comes back to Reeves again. He ducks the head. Grabbed by Ramsey, kicked off the ground by Dwyer, punched on again by Osborne. He's been pretty quiet today, so is this guy Conlon. Got one in the back. I think this is Conlon's second or third possession, 4th possession so far.
4 kicks he's had, Luke.
Over it goes now to Cooper. Cooper's kick is a long one over the half-forward line, but there's a strong mark taken here by Harris. Well, I don't know why they took Rendell off the ground unless he was a bit sore or something, but he certainly had Harris well covered. McDonald couldn't hold that mark. Coming in to meet it now, Law. He's played a crack. Not Law, it's Atkins, I should say. Picks it up at centre field, drives it up towards the Glendinning. He took that mark skidding along the ground and got the mark right on the 50-metre line. Now, Glendinning's yet to score a goal. He's kicked 2 points, but he could easily kick this distance because he's one of the greatest kicks we've had in football for many years.
Harris off and Hickey on for North Melbourne.
There's the kick by Glendinning. That's a long one. Will it make the distance? It does. It's a goal. Great goal by Glendinning. That's the one North Melbourne wanted before half-time. 9 goals, 3:57 North Melbourne to Fitzroy 5-3-33. And North Melbourne looking pretty good, I would say, at this particular stage of the match, Peter.
Well, the forward line has been much superior to that of Fitzroy, and as you saw, Glendinning outside the 50-metre line and scrambled that one through for a very, very good goal. It was his first, and North Melbourne playing some good football in the first quarter, carrying on the good work that they started in the first.
24 points the difference. We approach the 23-minute mark of this second quarter. Fitzroy have scored 1 goal for the quarter. Ball knocked out by Reeves, picked up by Thornton, back up towards their half-forward line. There's a mark to Quinlan and a free kick. And if course, the ball hasn't been down there much to Bernie, but he certainly dominated the forward line in that first quarter with young Harris. That's a well, it might have been a bit lucky, but there was a free kick there too as well. Now, old Superbird, right from the 50-metre mark, he could easily kick this because one of the greatest kicks we've seen in football, in the history of football. There it is, a long one. Well saved that time by North Melbourne on the line. That time was McDonald. Ball picked up by McIver, comes back to Cooper. Cooper's having trouble getting clear here. They grab him. That's a Seri on his back. Coming out of the pack now was Crocker. Crocker drives it back towards the centre of the ground. Oh, Larkins nearly copped one that time from Reed, but he missed it. He's clear. Short pass. Cracker in front, and that'll be a free kick and a mark to Jimmy Cracker. And the two Cracker boys have absolutely slaughtered them today. He's looking for Phil. Phil in front, couldn't hold the mark, but backing up well as Glendinning. Comes out now. Chance here for Atkins to get clear. Into his back that time was Logan. He copped two of them, couldn't get clear. Finally, it comes out that time to Blakey. Back to Thornton. Over it goes to Logan out there on the centre wing position. Boots it long. Schimmelbusch has got Cochran covered. As they go now for Fitzroy to get clear, as we see Osborne kick it out of bounds. I think he was out of bounds before he kicked it out of bounds, Pete.
It was indeed, and throw in before.
The throw in from about 70 metres around from the Fitzroy goal. They've only scored one for the quarter. That's their only score for the quarter. 9 goals, 357 North Melbourne to Fitzroy 5-3-33.
North, by contrast, have scored 4-1, knocked away by Quinlan. Kick back whence it came pretty quickly, but the mark was taken by Bill Logan. I think he appreciated the treatment meted out by Larkin either. Bad hand pass to Blakey. Why he went that way, and Larkin steals it. Larkin from right centre wing. Short pass down towards half forward. Glendinning and Pert. Glendinning, 20-metre hand pass into the open spaces of the forward pocket, but it's a little bit too long down there for Cracker. And it will be a boundary throw-in.
Well, Glendinning had nowhere to go. There was nowhere to take the ball, Pete, so he went for the distance and put the ball out of bounds, but at least he kept it well within their attacking zone.
It certainly is, because it's in their forward pocket, only about 10 metres from goal. 9-3 to 5-3, 24 points the difference. Fairly well tackled by Hinchin. Tries to kick the ball in play, unsuccessful, but still in the right forward pocket for the Kangaroos, although a little bit further away from the scoring area. Loken off the ground for Fitzroy. Coming back on as Knight. Boundary throw in again, knocked down to Phil Cracker, who's been more brilliant of the two players today, but as Lou said, they've both cut them to pieces. Larkin, well tackled by Roos, but it's picked up by Robertson, smothered by Roos again, onto Blakey. Blakey from the 50-metre defence line, well shepherded. Hand pass taken by Jamie Cooper. A little bit slippery out there, and Harris couldn't handle it, and so it's out of bounds, or Knight rather. Harris also there with Atkins, but it's going to be a boundary throw-in right on the centre wing position. North Melbourne's former plate has been pretty good. He won the last 3, knocked away by McDonald, taken by McIver. To Max figuring in the action, down to Quinlan. Paddles the ball further forward, only to see it picked up by Ackley, former Sydney Swans player. Robertson at right centre wing, not a long kick. Past Hickey, who's just come onto the ground. The ball picked up down there by Fairley, who's been a good player today. Knocked away by Roos on this, by Pert on this occasion, but straight to Phil Cracker.
Jimmy's going to get this, Pete.
He might, if it bounces okay for him. It's too long. Glendinning's there. Roos defending desperately, so too is Pert. Affects the hand pass onto Pekin. Picked up by Hinchin. Only to fumble. Good tackle by Phil Cracker again. Pekin goes over the top of him. Almost could have been construed as a free kick, but the umpire says no. Larkin gets clear of Pekin. Not a long kick. Pert. He doesn't fumble. Thumps the ball as far as he can. Knocked away by Crocker and picks it up himself. Kick is short into Fairley. Fitzroy defence working overtime as the hand pass is taken by Cooper. Mark taken by Reeves, who replaced Rendell earlier in the term. Reeves' kick tries to find Harris. Ackley in possession on centre wing. Fires out the hand pass again. Reeves there. Socket away from him effectively by Atkins. And Atkins has got the speed to just about pick it up again. He has. He got tripped. Was that a free kick? The umpire says no. Atkins again. In towards full forward. Glendinning and Pert. The ball over the boundary line of the throw.
Well, it's been a titanic tussle that last 5 minutes, but North Melbourne have the chance now because the ball is out of bounds about 30 metres around from their goal. They're doing it okay in this second quarter. They're 24 points in front. Back it comes now there to Knight. Knight couldn't get clear. McDonald couldn't get it, but that's Jimmy Cracker knocking the ball out to Phil. Finally, it comes out to Schimmelbusch, but he let it go for Ramsey. Ramsey gets it back now at centre-half forward to Robertson. A short pass, it's all right, and marked by Larkin. Larkin's kick is not counted because there's the siren to end the second quarter. It was all North Melbourne, 9 goals, 3:57 to Fitzroy, 5:3:33.
You want to be a real footballer? I've been a real footballer. You've got to look like a real footballer. You've got to go for the mark. The VFL mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark.
Go for the VFL mark at leading stores. Real footy gear, real footy accessories, real footy supporters gear too, in all club colours and badges. Go for the VFL mark at leading stores.
Start of the third quarter, Simmons' big lead from VFL Park. North Melbourne leading by 24 points. Fitzroy would certainly have to improve, although they did start well. And of course, North Melbourne got on top in the second quarter. Picked up by Ackley. Ackley's kick down towards the edge of the square. Roos at the back went the spoil effectively. McDonald tries to spin out, but spins into trouble and gets penalised for holding the ball. Free kick going to Fitzroy. And will be taken, let's see, by Roos is not going to take it. I don't think. Or was it Cameron? Cameron might be getting it. So Cameron or Roos. Now Cameron's going to take it. So Cameron just short of the right centre wing. Tries to find McGrath, but he was well out of position. Hinchin couldn't outmark Atkins. Atkins from half-back. Transferring play towards the outer side over the head of Thornton. And the good mark is taken by Fairley.
Actually, Fairley's been on top of Roos today, Pete.
Yes, he's played well, hasn't he? Then Dinning. Free kick there for holding the man. Yes, he has done against Gary Pert. And Robertson tries to play on, hoping that the advantage rule would be applied. That wasn't the case. And Ross Glendinning coming in for his 7th kick. 2 marks and 2 handballs so far to the Brownlow medalist. Front forward cracker. White comes out. Over to Pekin. Pekin from half-back. It's the hand pass up to Pert. 20-metre hand pass down towards Hinchin at half forward. Gets around his teammate McIver. Goes for the hand pass to Harris. Harris a long shot at goal. Won't quite make the distance. Quinlan, great mark in front. So Bernie Quinlan, who started off so well in the first quarter against Steve McCann, he kicked 2 goals then. Has a chance to bring up his 3rd and make the difference 18 points. A good passage of play that. Really lobbed high. One of Greg Norman's 9 iron shots. Quinlan from 20 metres out. Puts through his 3rd and makes the difference. 3 goals just past the 2-minute mark of the 3rd quarter.
Well, that's a good start for Fitzroy. That's the goal they needed. That one so quickly after the start of the 3rd quarter. That was great play. You watch this hand pass coming from Pert. It must have gone at least 40 metres. Magnificent hand pass to Hinchin and quick thinking over to Harris. I wouldn't say Harris was the best pass in the world, but Quinlan positioned himself beautifully to take the mark and kick a goal. Back in the centre now, 18 points the difference into this 3rd quarter by 2.5 minutes. So the Roys, well within striking distance. It'll be Harris against Rendell. Oh, that was a bad bounce by the umpire. Pushed on by Robertson. McDonald got in the way. This allowed Rendell to kick it back to half forward. Schimmelbusch coming in. He's been well on top of Conlon all day. He's been tagging him, and of course, Conlon's had very few kicks, but he's been a real star out there at half back. Thornton just about marked. I reckon the umpire should have paid it. He didn't. Over the steal, back to Robertson, who's been a busy player all day. Asiri. And he's too good that time. The umpire didn't pay that mark, so that's evens it up, really. Thought it could have been a mark to Asiri out there at half back, half forward. So it's on North Melbourne's half forward line, about 80 metres around from their goal. Rendell against McDonald. Once again, Rendell gets it down. Schimmelbusch spins out of the pack again. Coming in to meet it now is Cameron. A hand pass to Roos, a bad one. Robertson couldn't pick that up. Comes back now to Cracker. He smothers that one. That's Jimmy Cracker. Taps the ball back. There'll be a free kick to... he's called play on over to Larkin. It could be a goal. Cracker at the back. The ball touched off the top of the pack and through for 1 point. Well, it was a free kick, so it's 9 goals 4, plays 6 goals 3. Just over the 4-minute mark of this third quarter. Rouge with a chance to mark here. Tapped away by Fairley. They've had a great tussle all day. I'd say Fairley's on top up to this particular stage of the match. McGrath couldn't pick that up. He actually kicked it off the ground accidentally, and it's out of bounds. So it's out of bounds, still in that half forward, up towards the centre wing position. The difference now 19 points. In favour of North Melbourne. Ball knocked or picked up by Rendell. McDonald goes after it again. It finally slung out of the pack, back there towards Law and McGrath. And the ball is out of bounds again. Incidentally, Pete Law's been an excellent player today too.
Law's always a safe defender, isn't he? 19 points the difference, 58 to 39. Approaching the 5-minute mark. 9 is Rendell, 26 is Harris. Chance for Larkin to spin out. Well tackled by Hinch, and his kick is only a short one subsequently. Shiverbush. Rouge gets offloaded as he kicks the ball. No free kick downfield. 2 North Melbourne players up, none down. It gets knocked on to Dwyer. Conlon. Dwyer again with a good turn of speed. He's not a great kick though, this little fella, but that's well directed, that pass. All I meant was a great kick, not a long kick, and the rain comes down again. We had a heavy shower in the first quarter. It's lasted for just about the duration of it. Quinlan now for goal number 4. Inside the 50-metre line, he should get the distance. The accuracy, though, on this occasion isn't there. The result is 1 behind, 18 points the difference. Again, 9-4 to 6-4, 58 plays 40, and look at it come down. Ackley. Crowd scattering.
Certainly raining, Peters.
Offside. Coming down by the 5-ton truckload. Won't make conditions easy for the players as Atkins picks the ball up at the 50-metre defence line. Over the head of Matthew Larkin. Steele tries to gather it in just prior to the boundary line in front of Thornton. And the boundary throw will take place on the outer wing. I don't think it'll be a long shower, although looking down towards the city end, if that's where the rain's coming from, it could be such. Rendell and Harris. By Rendell again, he's got a lot of the knockouts today. That's Robertson, I think. Trying to get clear, he can't do so. Law finally gets boot the ball, and the mark is taken by Steele. He plays on, kicks it over the head of Thornton. Underneath it is Rouge. Lou said having a good duel with Fairley down there. The pass effective. Logan picked them up through the rain. Logan's kick back towards centre field, and the mark taken by little Dwyer. He scoots away quickly. Not a good kick by Dwyer, but again he finds Quinlan. Quinlan goes with a hand pass to McIver. McIver shoots at goal and has put it through for full points. So the Roy's coming back pretty strongly now. 9-4 to 7-4, 12 points in it in our match of the day.
Well, great play on the part of Dwyer first. You watch Dwyer get that down towards the half forward, but Bernie Quinlan picked it up with the agility of a young player over to McIver, and there was no doubt about the result. A great big pick up that time by Bernie Quinlan.
Back into the centre. Approaching the 8-minute mark of the term. 9-4 to 7-4, 12 points the difference.
Ball knocked out by Harris that time. Umpire will ball this one up at centre field again. Still pelting down here at VFL Park. As Pete said, we had a fairly heavy downpour in the first quarter, but fine for the second. And it's raining like the dickens now. Harris again. Grabbed by Rendell. Back to Harris again. He got one a bit high, but still got the kick back there towards McDonald. Couldn't hold the mark. Comes Fairley, I should say, over to Cracker. And there's Jimmy Cracker having a running shot at goal. Stopped by Pert. Pert and Glendenning come after it. Glendenning goes down. Did he get one on the back? He said dropping the ball against him.
Gee, that was sudden, wasn't it?
Well, he slipped. Well, they've had a great tussle, these two, because there it is again. Oh, it was a good decision by the umpire. Out it goes to Logan. Logan out there at half back. Well, Pert and Glendenning have had a great tussle. Pert on top of the first quarter. Glendenning bounced back on the second. There's a chance now for Smith at the back. Could have marked that, tapped it on, picked up by Bernie. Harris already kicked 3 goals. Quinlan punched away by McCann. Harris overruns, Hinchin overruns the ball. That's a good tackle, but the umpire said players. McIver gets it out now. The little Dwyer doing a pretty good job today here again, but he always does that. The ball is out of bounds, right on the 50-metre line there in their attacking zone. So it's still 12 points the difference. Fitzroy trailed by 24 points at 3/4 time, and they're bouncing back into business again. Harris gets the big thump out. Short pass. Hinchin. Back it goes now, a chance for Cooper, running shot at goal, but Cooper off target through and for 1 point. So the difference now only 11 points. 58 plays 47 into this third quarter by just on 9.5 minutes. What about this being a passing shower? Peatman's coming down pretty heavily now as we see Smith take the mark down there in the back pocket, drive the ball long over the half-back line. McGrath missed that completely. Picked up by Crocker, looking there for a series. It bounces okay. He's got a paddock to run it, but he decides to go for a pass. He's put it out of bounds, looking that time for Fairley. But under these conditions, you've got to go for the long kick.
I've been wrong before, Luke.
On this one, you are beat by a mile, by a monsoon. Back it comes to Simmerbush. That kick is smothered. There's a go for Logan. Oh, bouncing out of the pack was Atkins. Gets a hand pass over to Larkin. He picked it up pretty well. Another long one over there to Wackley in centre field. And that centre's looking drenched at the moment as it goes down there towards the centre half forward position. Kicked off the ground by Jimmy Cracker. Picked up by Steele. Ramsey taps it out for Jimmy Cracker again, but the umpire's found a free kick. It'll go to Clayton. I don't know what for because you can hardly see the players. Oh. The passing shower Beecham killed them, kid.
Well, it's a big shower. Clayton's kick up towards centre wing. Now it's McGrath. He can't get clear. And the end result of all that might be a ball up. I don't know whether he can bounce it down there. It is bucketing down.
They're trying to fog in to make it all the more confusing too.
It's good for the beans and the tomatoes this time of the year, though. Law's kick. Only a short one on a steal. Up towards the 50-metre line. The umpire's found a free kick here.
It'll go to Cracker. Interference played to Jimmy.
He's right on the 50-metre line. Don't know whether he'd get the distance under these conditions. So he goes for a short pass, and that's effective, and the mark is taken at half forward by McDonald, or towards the forward pocket. Now McDonald, as we saw earlier in the day, can be an excellent kick for goal. He's had 8 possessions so far and has kicked 3. But under these conditions, it would need to be an excellent kick to even score. Large pools of water forming in many parts of the ground now as McDonald shoots at goal, off target and through for a point. So the scoreboard shows that North Melbourne take their total to 9-5. And Paul Roos looks like putting on a long sleeve jersey. 7-5 the score of Fitzroy. I think I'd put on a wetsuit. Gary Pert brings the ball back into play. Still a mammoth torpedo punt kick. Look at that. Out almost to the wing position. Phil Cracker in front tries to boot the ball off the ground. Succeeds in doing that, but also succeeds in getting it over the boundary line. And the throw-in will follow on the outer wing. And you can see in the foreground there large pools of water, especially near the centre square. Hickey unsuccessful in getting it away from the pack. Picked up by Ackley. Twist and turns. After half forward, Rendell goes to spoil. Sock it off the ground again, once more out of bounds. A little bit closer to goal, but still around about 55 to 60 metres from the scoring area. The Kangaroos still by 12 points.
Into the quarter by 12.5 minutes. Rendell against Glendenning. Bit of tussling going on. Picked up by Larkin. They get it over their half-forward line down towards the full-forward position as they go now. As we see Fairley missed that one. Kicked off the ground by Roos, now wearing the long jumper going for race, but Fairley's right after him. In goes Pert. Upset him. Good play on the part of Pert that time. Gave Roos a clear run. Crocker couldn't hold that mark. Coming in to meet it now is Knight. Knight's kick falls short. Bernie Quinlan grabs it on the first time. How about the old super boot? Clear. But he's put it out of bounds.
Deserved better.
How'd he pick that up, the old fella? Picked it up fantastically well that time, and the ball is out of bounds. It'll be a penalty free kick to go to McCann.
Turned the lights on here too at VFL Park, which is excellent thinking under these conditions.
We ought to turn the dryers on too, because the ground is absolutely drenched. That rain downpour is just about stopped now, but it's done a bit of damage. Punched away by Rendell again. Nearly a free kick to Ackley. Never had the ball. He's got to get one. So Ackley will take that free kick out there at half back. The difference still 12 points, 59 plays 47 in favour of North Melbourne. And a fairly good game here today too. Desperation game for both of them as the ball comes down there to Peake, and he's got grabbed. I think he said in the back. I'd go all the way with that. against Fairley, so Pekin to take the free kick out there on the centre wing position. Fitzroy trailing by 12 points as the ball's short. Rendell picks it up, no doubt the best big man on the ground.
Easily.
And Cracker at the back. That's Phil Cracker taking the mark. This is the best player on the ground, in my opinion. Back it goes now to Law. Couldn't hold the mark. Backing up well as Steele. Steers clear of his opponents as he drives the ball over the half-forward line. Coming out to meet it is Glenn Denning. He's grabbed by Clayton, but shrugged him off as he kicks the ball up there looking for Phil. Phil Cracker juggled it, couldn't pick it up. Cameron gave the hand pass to the wrong man, Ramsey, but what a kick. He kicked it like a back pocket player and put it through for a point. He had a chance of a lifetime then. So it's 13 points the difference. 60 plays 47 into this third quarter by 14, just on 15 minutes.
Thornton gets around Larkin, bouncing the kick towards Atkins on right half forward flank. Little short kick, tries to find Robertson. That might have almost been construed as in the back, but the umpire gives a play on call. Law looking for a free kick and trying to pick up the ball. Down goes Robertson again. Very scrambly play. Again, the solution is the obvious one. The ball up. I don't think he can bounce it now. McDonald on his own. No North Melbourne small players are there. Jimmy Cracker finally comes in. Might have got one in the back from Pekin. But sensible umpiring. They're letting it go under these conditions. That's Robertson. Towards Larkin, who is spinning out. Not a Phil Cracker. He beats three tackles. Beautifully done, Phil Cracker. And another one. He can shoot at goal from there. He has done it. He's put it through. Oh, great goal. That's close to goal of the day, isn't it?
Certainly is, Pete.
10 goals, 6, 66 to 7-5, 47. Great play from Phil Cracker. And you said he was best on the ground before, Lou. And I'm sure you'd agree after that he's really the player of the match.
Watch this again on action. Spins out of the pack. Bury's just about leg. Puts it on the ground. Clear. And a left foot snap. And that is the Cracker, or the Cracker brothers, or one of the Cracker brothers at his best. There's his stats. 13 kicks. And of course he's had 4 hand passes and he's kicked 3 goals.
66 plays, 47 now. The 16.5-minute mark of the third quarter. 37 for Fitzroy as Cameron, but his kick slews off the side of the boot out towards Atkins on centre wing. Hickey comes in for backup support. Good Shepherd to keep Hinchin at bay. Knocked away by Gary Pert. Off the ground from Hickey. Back it goes to Robertson. He's tackled and dispossessed pretty quickly. Larkin couldn't handle it. Still at half forward. McDonald down. It's real wet weather football now, and here he is again, Phil Cracker. Left foot this time, down towards half forward, tries to find his brother, just about got him too. He's still got it. Short kick by Jimmy up towards the full forward line, and the mark is taken by Ramsey directly in front.
Well, we keep on saying it, but they are magic. They are tremendous. Well, we see the ball kicked back there again by Jimmy Cracker. He had no hope in the world of picking that up. I think he may have had a bit of luck his way, but still he backs his judgment, and he got the kick up to Ramsey. A chance to score a goal from about 30 metres out directly in front. There's the kick on its way. It'll be okay. Another goal, so North Melbourne looking good again. 11 goals, 672 to Fitzroy, 7-5, 47.
25 points the difference as we approach the 18-minute mark of the quarter.
And Fitzroy got within 11 points, but the Kangaroos have bounced back mainly through the efforts of the Cracker brothers. And, of course, Phil Cracker really dominating that pair.
And under these conditions, Lou, that's a pretty good lead, isn't it?
It certainly is, Pete, and that ground is absolutely flooded, particularly around about the centre area. Bounce again. Oh, Harris with a good effort that time. Picked up here by Logan. The kick falls short. Tapped on by Law. Little Harris is there too. Couldn't get clear. A scrimmage develops there, and the umpire will ball it up down towards Fitzroy's centre half forward position. They're trailing now 47 to 72. That's a difference of 25 points. Good lead. Pushed out by Rendell. Back to Ackley. Gets a hurried kick. Stopped by Cracker. The ball hooked back again by Fitzroy, but there's Phil Cracker to take the mark. Top one a bit high. But that was fair enough. Harris couldn't do anything else. He's got a 15-metre penalty, walking back or running back, limping. That's Crocker driving the ball back towards that half-forward line, but a good safe mark taken here by Roos. Well, they've been under plenty of pressure all day, that Fitzroy defence. He's had his hands full with Fairley, who's been a pretty good player for North Melbourne. The honours are about even over the half-forward line. At the back is Smith. Nearly marked that, decided to tap it on, picked up by Harris again, up towards McCann, Quinlan. Quinlan, there's little Dwyer, a snap at goal. It hit the post. So luck not running Fitzroy's way. 72 plays, 48, a difference of 24 points.
Rendell again off the ground to be replaced by Reeves. I
think the reason why they're doing that, Pete, is to make sure he lasts the distance. Well, he couldn't do it for any other reason, because he's had most of the knockouts. Packet comes towards Law and Knight. They both missed that. Ball pushed out that time by Steele, and the ball is out of bounds. Still on Fitzroy's half forward on about 65 metres around from their goal. They're 11-6-72. North Melbourne to Fitzroy's 7-6-48.
Boundary throw in. Fitzroy badly needing some goals here before the three-quarter time siren, but North Melbourne defence has been pretty strong. Ramsey tries to paddle the ball literally forward, can't do so. Clayton sees it rebound into the arms of Robertson. Again, a boundary throw in will follow. 20 minutes into the term. Kicks in favour of North Melbourne by a margin of 25, 149 to 127. And they have taken 4 more marks. Fitzroy have 18 more handballs so far. Boundary throw in left half forward flank for North Melbourne. Knocked away by Fairley. On towards Steele. Hickey off the ground. Ramsey, who's bobbed up quite a few times in this quarter. Glendinning and Pert. Glendinning gets the opening. A soccer kick. He might be the go. He tries. Has he got it, or is it a point? One behind. So a point to North Melbourne makes the difference now 25 points again. 73 to 48. The correct play, certainly. Just couldn't angle it around enough.
He might have hit the post there, Pete.
To get some tuition from Frank Alec, I think. North Melbourne handling these wet weather conditions much better than Fitzroy. Schimmelbusch sees the ball elude him over the boundary line again, and the throw in between left half forward flank and left centre wing for the Kangaroos.
What's that guy's name, Frank?
Frank Alec.
Oh, we used to drink that, yes.
He didn't drink anything. Knocked down to Loken. Larkin. On towards Jimmy Cracker this time. Blakey in pursuit. The mark is taken by Hickey. He's a bit of a go. Certainly bores in. Any conditions could be made for him at the moment. The kick slews off the side of the boot. In towards the 10-metre square, and a safe mark is taken by Cooper. He's got the hand pass away to Roos. Ramsey in pursuit. At the Conlon, who's been very quiet today, as the supporters, I'm sure you can hear in the background, telling us. Hinchin, left centre wing. Ramsey, not Ramsey, but Ackerley in pursuit. Well, McCann doesn't get the bounce. The opportunity for Quinlan, if he can get there first in front of Law. He'll have to kick it off the ground. He does so. It goes close. Not close enough. Out of bounds. Boundary throw in adjacent to the behind post.
Out of bounds in the Fitzroy forward pocket position into this third quarter by 22 minutes. 25 points the difference in favour of North Melbourne. We said before, Fitzroy got within 11 points in this third quarter, but
then the rain came.
North Melbourne bounced back. Ball knocked out that time by McCann. There's a chance now for Osborne, a very quiet player over to Blakey, short one. And the ball is marked here by Knight. And Knight's within the 50-metre attacking line there.
The ball would be very heavy, though, Lou, wouldn't it?
Well, he'd have to kick it from about 50 metres. I don't know whether he'd make the distance or not. Have to be a good kick. No, won't make the distance. Beats the pack, and the ball is out of bounds, about 30 metres around from the Fitzroy goal. The opposite side of the ground. Waiting now for the ball to come back into play. Well, Fitzroy been struggling all day, Pete. Up to this stage of the match, North Melbourne looked the better side, the more aggressive team. Knocked out by McDonald. The ball is out of bounds once again. Out of bounds about 35 metres around from the Fitzroy goal. It'll be McDonald and Quinlan to do battle again for this knockout. Quinlan got up too early, kicked off the ground that time by Robertson. Atkins mixed that. Blakey's there too. He gets a hurried kick, intercepted by McIver. He's upset by Larkin, and goes Robertson again. He's been a real terror today. Robertson, he's put in a good game, Pete.
He has played well. He's had 10 kicks and 5 handballs.
Well, that's what he's been doing too. He's throwing himself into the packs. He's battled hard, blocking the ball, and that sometimes is as good as having a kick. Knocked out by McDonald, pushed on by Hinchin. Hits the deck again as they go now for Logan right on the boundary line, but play Buttle up on that forward pocket position about 40 metres around from the Fitzroy goal. Fitzroy still struggling under these conditions. They're trailing by 25 points. And we're into this quarter by 24 minutes.
Reeves knocks the ball down. Hand pass taken from by Schimmelbusch from Atkins. And the North veteran tries to find Hickey. In the back of him is Cameron, and the ball out of bounds on centre wing.
Schimmelbusch has played a great game today, Pete.
13 kicks and one handball, a couple of marks.
Plus the fact he's put Conlon out of business.
Has he what? Conlon been very quiet. Reeves and Fairley. Ball knocked down to Robertson again. Towards half-forward, Ramsey and Hinchin going forward. Once more, it's out of bounds. Well, North Melbourne playing the wet conditions much better than Fitzroy. Fitzroy got to within, I think it was 11 points, there wasn't it? Then
That's
the rain
right,
came. And Fitzroy seemed to have stopped. The rain has now too, but the damage may have been done. Glendinning contesting this time with Reeves. Past Thornton. Ball socket off the ground. Towards centre wing. Similar tactics. McIver tries to pick it up in front of Crocker, does so. Hand passes on to Clayton. Ackley. The Knight might have got into his back, but once more it's out of bounds. So it's a real wet weather football now. The conditions and the game in the first half were not too bad. I think it's going to be a slog from here on in. North Melbourne's lead could be 14 goals rather than 4. Away by McDonald. In goes Thornton it was. Gets it out to Conlon. McCann. Quinlan. Jimmy Cracker. Jimmy Cracker's kick over the shoulder. And McDonald knocks the ball out of bounds. Now it's going to be a free kick.
And then back there to Cooper, Pete.
And Jamie Cooper left half forward flank. He's gone for a short pass. Loken takes it, but of course he's no near a goal. He might have to bring that back again. He has. So McIver take the kick. Scott McIver from left half forward flank. Not the greatest of kicks. Quinlan leading out, but chipping in is John Law, and takes a very safe mark at the 50-metre defence line at right half back.
Well, the North Melbourne defence standing up pretty well. They've been under attack for the last 5 minutes. Picked up by Thornton. He's grabbed a fresh air shot. That's Cameron getting the ball down there to Jimmy Cracker. Jimmy and Phil are killing him. Now it goes now, and this is Fairley. Fairley goes for a pass up there towards Glendinning. Oh, backing up well as Pert. Anticipated that okay, but he couldn't pick it up. And that's not very hard to understand either, because the conditions are shocking out there, very slippery. 25 points the difference.
And the sun trying to peek through now.
Well, we might dry up a bit of water that's lying loose on the ground there with that bit of sunshine. You never know your luck as the ball is cleared away again by Cameron. Still plenty of scrimmaging going on. Neither side can get clear, and the umpire's going to ball it up out there on the centre wing position down towards North Melbourne's half-forward line. Still a good distance out. But they're doing okay under these conditions. 25 points in front. Picked up by Atkins. His kick is over the half-forward line. That's a good mark to Fairley.
Played a good game, Lou.
Well, he and Roos have battled out, and I'd say it's a pretty even-Steven job. Pete up it goes there towards Ramsey. Got a hand to it, couldn't hold the mark. Glendinning overran the ball. The ball finally cleared away by Pert. Out there towards that half-forward line. Ball tapped on. Good play by North Melbourne Smith. And the ball is out of bounds. Still on North Melbourne's half-forward line on the opposite side of the ground this time. That's the members' side. Still about 70 metres around from their goal. Reeves against Hickey for the knockout. Well, actually, Hickey got that down to Osborne. He's hardly been sighted. Over it goes to Dwyer. Dwyer had no hope of picking that up, and it's out of bounds. Still in the same spot. Still about 70 metres around from the North Melbourne goal. Into this third quarter by just on 28 minutes. And North Melbourne lead by 25 points as Pert gets a hurried kick back. McDonald's got the mark. Second grab, but he's got it. And I know what I'd be doing. I'd be going for the long kick under these conditions, Pete.
There's a lot of heavy parts of that ground now.
Well, that's what McDonald's done. He's gone for a long kick down there. Now I can take the mark. The ball pushed back there towards Hickey. Coming in to meet it as Reeves got a hand pass back that time to Osborne. His kick was a poor one. Down goes McIver. He's still going after McIver. He's grabbed by Crocker, picked up by Law, hooks the ball back there towards the half-forward. Oh, there's a strong mark taken by Cameron. There's the siren to end the third quarter, and North Melbourne still in a pretty good position. 11 goals, 773 to Fitzroy's 7-6-48.
McDonald from right half-back flank. A minute and a half gone, final term. Atkins, oh, juggle, great mark! 12 kicks to Atkins, and that's his first mark, and what a spectacular one it was. We watch it again over the top of Scott Clayton, or around Scott Clayton, I should say. Kick to centre wing. Blakey Well tackled by Robertson, who's played a good game today for North Melbourne. Good use of the body by Larkin. And there might be a free kick out of this. Paid by umpire Russo. We'll wait until the players get up. Yes, there is a free. And it's going to number 13 for North Melbourne in John Law. Almost 2 minutes gone in the term. Law goes for a pass in front as Roos. Tries to find Fairley. They've had a great deal today. The Fitzroy player this time on top and taking his second mark. He's had 15 kicks.
Short pass. It'll be okay. Marked by Larkin. Over it goes to Pekin. Logan, I should say. Over to Pekin. There's a chance for Quinlan. Chipping in as Smith kicks the ball off the ground. Dwyer's there too. Kicked out towards Phil Cracker. Couldn't get the ball away from Dwyer. Gets a hand pass back. Ball driven up there by Cameron, up towards the full forward position, up the top of the pack, but backing up well as Shimmerbush. He's played a great game down there in defence. The ball goes out now to Jimmy Cracker. He gets around Cameron quite easily, hooks the ball back. In front is Larkin. Blakey had him covered. Phil Cracker couldn't get it clear, but there's a chance for Hickey to soccer it back towards Rendell at centre field. The big fella picked it up okay too. Hand pass going over now as we see the ball picked up by Pekin. Pekin sends the ball over the half-forward line. Shimmerbush again. No, it's not Shimmerbush, it's Hackley. Hackley out there to Cracker on his own. And that's Jimmy Cracker driving the ball out wide, picked up by Larkin. He looked for Phil Cracker on his own there. He's out there at half-forward. There's no trouble getting clear here now with the left footer down there towards the Siri, but he's pretty well covered, but chipping in as Ramsey playing on the forward line. Up there towards the full forward position. There's no one there for North Melbourne. Ball kicked off the ground by Cameron. The ball is out of bounds. So it's out of bounds on that forward pocket position for North Melbourne. They're in front by 25 points. And they've led most of the day here. Knocked out by Glendinning over to a serious snap at goal. This will be good, a goal. Oh, that's a bad one for Fitzroy. So it's Fitzroy 7-7-49 to North Melbourne now looking really good, 12-7-79.
5 goals the difference under these conditions. That is a more than useful lead. Siri from 30 metres out on about a 45-degree angle never looked like missing it. That could be just about curtains for the Lions insofar as this match is concerned.
Well, that's put them 30 points in front, Pete. 79 plays 49. Rendell against McDonald. Rendell again. He's dominated the knockouts at the centre bounce. Umpire will ball this up down towards Fitzroy's centre half forward position. 30 points the difference at the 4.5-minute mark of this last quarter in favour of North Melbourne.
North certainly in line to keep their finals chances alive now. As the ball gets booted away by Hickey, I think it was towards the edge of the square. Steele tried to soccer it off the ground. Now the hand pass comes out to Atkins, who's been a very good player. Atkins gets it back in turn this time from Steele. Pert leading Glendinning. Short pass. And the mark taken by Graham Hinchin in front of Law. On to Clayton. Onto the centre wing and turn and picked up by Loken. Knight. His kick is short. Was that a mark? McIver has to get rid of it pretty quickly. Does so out to Larkin, but the umpire has given him a free kick for in the back, which he will take at left half forward flank. On to Clayton. Knocked away by Cracker. Now to Ackley. McCann and Dwyer. Dwyer goes for the hand pass. On to Loken. Loken's kick is off target. Tries to find Conlon with it. It beats him out of bounds. And the throw-in will take place in Fitzroy's right half forward flank. A bit of disagreement out there.
And a very fair game, just the same, Pete, isn't it?
Very quiet game in that regard. Quinlan and McDonald. Knocked away by Quinlan. Smith, Jimmy Cracker loses that one. In goes Bernie Harris. And it will be a bounce or ball up. I don't think they've bounced it since about half-time, really. We had that very heavy shower during the third quarter. And that has resulted in all these pools of water on the ground, but a real chance here for a score. Fitzroy certainly need one to stay in contention. Knocked down by McDonald. Quinlan tried to spread eagle the pack. No success. Once again, we'll see a ball up.
Ball up about 10 metres out from the Fitzroy goal. They're down by 30 points. 6.5 minutes gone of this last quarter. Players finding it very hard to pick it up. It's very slippery, very heavy, and water lying on the surface here, making it very hard for these players to play any top brand of football. Knocked out by McDonald. The ball is out of bounds again. Play bundled up on that forward pocket position for Fitzroy. And they're trailing by 30 points. And that's worth about 50 points today under these conditions, Pete, I would say.
Yep.
Well, both ruckmen missed that. Knocked out by Law, who's been a very strong defender down there with Schimmelbusch, who's had the job of minding or tagging Conlon. Conlon's had about 12 touches for the day, but hasn't done much at all. And Schimmelbusch, of course, number 20, has been a great player for his side. Well, he's always a great player. As the ball comes out to Crocker, little Dwyer tries to get through the pack, throws it away. McIver over to Blakey. Blakey moving about. There's a go now as the ball driven up by Knight, but it's off the side of his boot and he's put it out of bounds on the full. So luck not falling Fitzroy's way in this match today. They got within 11 points in the third quarter, but North Melbourne rallied and bounced back, and of course now they're in front by 30. That's a dangerous run across goal, but Smith's there and it's safe. And he goes for the long kick out to the wide open spaces. Steele and Thornton having a great race here. Steele will get there first. Taps the ball back to Law. Law gets a hurried kick back towards Jimmy Cracker. Hickey grabbed that one. Good strong mark against Logan that time. So that's Hickey right out there on the edge of the square. Goes wide. It'll be okay. And there we see Phil Cracker with the ball now. Phil Cracker's played a superb game here today, and Jimmy hasn't been far behind him. Fitzroy had no answer to these two players. Up to Glendenning, punched out by Pert. Grabbed by Steele. He was grabbed when he didn't have it. Picked up here again by Cooper, but he ran into trouble. They soon collared him. He grabbed by the foot of Seri, but the umpire didn't see that. Tapped it on again. Seri out towards Glendenning. He goes down. Back it comes again. Picked up by Larkin up towards the goals. This will be close. Pushed on by Hinchin and through for 1 point. So they move now to 12 goals, 8-80 North Melbourne to Fitzroy's 7-7-49, a difference of 31 points as we approach the 9-minute mark of this last quarter.
Mark taken by Clayton, just up from the back pocket. Now under these conditions, that's not a bad kick, gets plenty of distance to get it to centre wing. Blakey off the ground, dribbles it to left half forward flank. Two North Melbourne players are there. Ackley can't it over the line, and a boundary throw-in will follow. 9 minutes into the term. Yeah, that looks like young Dwyer limping off the ground.
He's been a fair player for them today too, Pete, and they haven't had that many.
He's done well since he came down from, I think it was Keroit. Smith. His kick is short. Ruse tries to juggle it, can't do so. Larkin, hurried handball, might have been penalised here. Good tackle by the Fitzroy defender. Results in a free kick going his way, which he will take just short of the left centre wing position. Had a good deal with Fairley.
I think he's well on top now, Pete.
Cracker. I think that might be Jimmy underneath that, is it? Yes, it is. Now it's Phil. Revelling in the conditions at the moment. Chips it short to Arsiri. What the Crackers have missed, Arsiri's picked up. Arsiri down towards right half forward. Might be a free kick downfield. There is one. It will go North Melbourne's way, of course. And it will be, was he bringing it back? I looked downfield, play stopped, so I assumed there was a kick downfield, but Arsiri back with us.
Well, the other umpire agreed with you, Pete.
Loose ball close to the boundary line. It dribbles over, and the boundary throw-in will take place about 75 metres from goal. Dwyer seems to be okay now. He was going to come off some minute or two back. 80 plays 49, so still 31 points the difference in favour of North. Rendell can't get it clear of Smith. Out to Arsiri again. Soccers that one some 10 metres downfield for Phil Cracker and Conlon to do battle. Phil diving forward, might get a free kick for in the back against the tank. He has done. A long way from goal, right on the edge of the square. Goes for a short pass. Who's he got? Larkin. And the Crackers, as always, not wasting their kicks. Larkin's had 16 of those himself. Hasn't played a bad game. Glendenning can't mark it into these conditions. Snapshot for goal by Smith. Won't quite make the distance, but fairly marks in front of Bruce on this occasion, and Lou, this could just about be the seal if we needed one.
Well, it puts them 37 points in front. And under these conditions, Pete, it's worth another 3 or 4 goals.
Yes. Now,
at least.
Fairley has already kicked 1 goal.
You know, Ruse has been their top player, but this fella's played a fairly good game. That goes with his name, Fairley, doesn't it?
2 goals to Fairley. And the scoreboard shows the Kangaroos 13-8, 86, Fitzroy 7-7, 49.
Well, there we see North Melbourne keeping their final 5 chances alive, and they look as though they're going to win this match here today. You watch that kick from Smith down to Fairley, made good position. And, of course, had no worries in the world about kicking that easy goal.
It doesn't put Fitzroy out of contention,
No,
but a win would have been very handy for them. Approaching the 12-minute mark now of the final term, 13-8 to 7-7, and that was Fairley's second goal.
37 points in favour of North Melbourne, knocked out by Rindell. He's been getting it all day. Smith with a hurried kick back there towards the centre of the ground. Asiri weaving his way through the pack. He was grabbed, didn't have it. And the little terrier takes the free kick at centre field. This fella's a little goer too. Asiri goes directly down the ground, looking there for Ramsey. A bit late on the scene, and Blakey takes a good mark. As a matter of fact, Pete, this fella would be nearly their best player, Blakey. He's been solid all day.
10 kicks and 8 handballs.
There's the kick by Blakey over the half-forward line. Umpires found a free kick. It might go against Harris. It'll go there to Ackley for interference, and Ackley will take that free kick at half-back. And, of course, everything falling into place for North Melbourne. Conditions are against Fitzroy because they're so far behind. A fumble that time by Logan. Nearly copped one on the head from Larkin. Back it comes again to Robertson, a real terrier for North Melbourne all day. Pushed out by Larkin, showing strength. Gets the ball out of the pack that time. In goes Pert. Knocked away that time by Pert again, and the ball is out of bounds. Strong play by Pert. He and Roos are fighting a lone, oh, we can't say a lone hand, a dual roll down there. Because this North Melbourne have been into attack for most of the day. Fumble that time by Hinchin. Smith smothers the ball. Going through that time was Ramsey. Taps it on to Jimmy Cracker. He ducked the head. He was grabbed. The umpire called play on, and rightly so. Clayton can't get clear. And the umpire said it was on the shoulder against McDonald, and he'll take the free kick out there at half-back. So into the quarter. That's the last by 13.5 minutes. It's North Melbourne 13-8-86 to Fitzroy 7-7-49.
Mickey Conlon takes the mark at centre field. Conlon to half forward. Fitzroy haven't got much down there. Quinlan goes for the bump, puts Crocker out of business, but the ball is over the line anyway. And to throw in about 50 metres from goal. 13-8 to 7-7. Most of the scoring, of course, done in the first quarter when we had 14 goals kicked. We've only had 7 since. Knocked down by Law, once again out of bounds, a little bit further around the boundary line, away from the goals. But North Melbourne have, well, they've had the answer pretty well right throughout the afternoon. Fitzroy got to within 11 points in the third quarter, then the rain came, and that was the end of Fitzroy. Knocked down by McDonald to Ackley, tries to find Siri with the handball, again out of bounds. 14.5 minutes gone, won't be a long quarter. The third one was the shortest we've had so far. Only 4 goals kicked in that. I'll be surprised if we see 4 kicked in the last quarter. Quinlan and McDonald again out of bounds. So perhaps a good opportunity to go to the fridge and get another can. North Melbourne certainly keeping their finals chances alive by this win. And barring anything unforeseen, I couldn't see them not winning it. Hand pass comes out from Clayton onto Harris towards full forward. Out comes the hand pass from Hinchin. Tried to find Conlon, but Schimmelbusch has had his measure right throughout the afternoon. Socked away by Phil Cracker on the 200 gamer Steve McCann. Can't pick it up, so Sockers at some 35 to 40 metres down to Jimmy Cracker. Away from Pekin. Lobs it high. Osborne, he's really been in the land of the missing this afternoon. Can't take the mark, or has he been paid the free kick? He's got the kick anyway. Not the greatest of afternoons for Richard Osborne. Only 4 kicks. Short pass onto Blakey. Oh, goodness me, straight to Larkin, but he makes amends. That's the sort of thing that coaches do like. Clayton. At the back, Quinlan. Socked away by Conlon. Here's a chance for Harris. Will he pick it up or off the ground? He's gone for off the ground, and he's got it through. So a badly needed one for Fitzroy, and Harris putting through his 4th goal. 13-8 to 8-7. Still 31 points the difference. I think it is a lost cause for Fitzroy, but they're still fighting on. Very hard to score goals under these conditions, but a good kick off the ground. Good attempt too by Phil Cracker to dive and touch it, but not successful. And Bernie Harris bringing up his 4th goal. On 7's big league, we're just past the 16-minute mark now of the final quarter. 31 points the difference.
Out of bounds again. Rendell against McDonald, knocked out by Rendell. He's doing that all. Been doing that all day. McIver's hand pass wasn't too good. Picked up by Asiri. Out towards the half-forward line. There's a chance now for Fairder to pick it up. Down towards Glendinning and Pert having a great battle down there, and it's finally forced out of bounds by Pert. So it's just about on the 50-metre mark in their attacking zone, North Melbourne. Wait for the ball to come back into play. It'll be Rendell. Rendell, as we said, Pete's had plenty of knockouts, but they're not getting the ball away from the knockouts. There's another one. He fumbled that one. It comes back to Pert. That kick's a bad one. Pert taps it on again. A hand pass comes out to Cameron, but Fairley's there too. He smothers the ball all right, tries to get it back, but picked up again by Blakey. And Roos has kicked the ball out wide towards that half-forward line, out towards the centre wing position. Kicked on again by Knight. Law's got him covered, but Knight goes after him again, got into his back. And Law will take that free kick out there on the centre wing position. Law and Schimmelbusch have been two great players, and they're the two stalwarts of the team, Pete. Down there in defence.
They haven't done much wrong, have they?
Certainly
really?
haven't. Well, you never see Law do much wrong any time. He's a strong player as the ball is knocked out of bounds, that time by Roos. So the ball is out of bounds up towards North Melbourne's half-forward line, about 80 metres around from their goal. They're 13-8-86 to Fitzroy 8-7-55. And things don't look too hot for Fitzroy as we see Robertson drive it back over their half-forward line. Coming in as Glendinning. He goes down there with Pert. The ball going to the boundary line. It's out of bounds, but it's inside the 50-metre mark. So the pressure now on the Fitzroy defence like it has been all day. They've had two good players down there in defence in Roos and Pert, but their opponents are doing a fairly good job against them too. The Siri trying to get through the pack. Kicked off the ground by Glendinning. Another stack up here, and the umpire will ball it up. Still about 45 metres out from the North Melbourne goal. Into this last quarter by 18.5 minutes. And North Melbourne, or Fitzroy, not doing enough. That's what we should say, as Larkin's kick is smothered by Hinch and pushed out by Jimmy Cracker. The ball driven back by Thornton. Ball punched out again by McDonald. There's a chance for Collins. Kicked it off the ground. It's certainly not his day today, and he's put it out of bounds. The penalty free kick will go to North Melbourne, and that'll go to Ackley. Of course, he's been under tremendous pressure, Conlon, because Schimmelbusch hasn't let him go all day, Peter.
No, their forwards have been well down. They kicked 4 goals in the first quarter, Fitzroy, and they've added only 4 goals since. Jimmy Cracker has a snapshot at goal. That's off target and through for one behind. 13-9 to 8-7 now, a difference of 32 points in favour of North. What a difference the two Crackers make to North Melbourne. When one of them's in, doesn't seem to make much difference, either player, but when both of them are there, they really click together and combine so well, don't they? Robertson sockers the ball over the boundary line, but the umpire in the meantime has found a free kick going Fitzroy's way, and the recipient looks as though it's going to be Gary Pert, who's battled hard. He's restricted Ross Glendinning to 1 goal. On to Roos. Back to Pert again. Wobbly punt kick to centre wing. Almost a mark to Law, but he didn't pay it. Holding the ball, the decision there. Free kick going Fitzroy's way. That was a bit sudden. Scott McIver comes out with the free kick. Now towards left half-forward flank. McCann brushes Quinlan aside, sockers the ball well cleared. Might go out of bounds, or is it going to stop? Throw will take place some 60 metres from goal. Steve McCann in his 300th game, 200th game, I think would be fairly happy with things, even though Bernie Quinlan got off to a good start and has 3 goals against his name. So plenty of good support down there, though, through Law and Schimmelbusch. Clayton, kick towards the 10-metre square, and that could just about be a mark. It's Roos down there, is it?
Well, they've got him down there in attack now, I think, Pete, to try and lift the team, because their attack has been hopeless all day, except for Quinlan in that early part of the match.
So Paul Roos, a chance to bring the Lions a little closer, which he has done with his first goal of the afternoon. To say it's a badly needed one would be the understatement of this very wet day. 13-9 to 9-7. That makes the difference now 26 points.
Well, 26 points and 21 minutes gone. So there's time for them under normal conditions, Pete, but I'd say the conditions are against them. And they're not really playing that well to so they could come home flying, are they?
No, it would be a really long shot. 19 kicks, incidentally, to Paul Roos, 7 marks and 3 handballs, so his stats read pretty well. From BFL Park, we approach the 22-minute mark of the term. 26 points in it in favour of North.
Oh, Smith missed that one completely. Ball thrown out by Reeves. It comes out there towards Steele. He sockets it off the ground. A poor kick back to Clayton. 26 points the difference. About 7 minutes to go before this game finishes. Schimmelbusch fumbles. Goes after it again. He hasn't made many mistakes today. He got rid of that one, correcting it. Thornton overruns the ball. This gives Atkins a chance to pick it up on the centre wing position. Looking there for Glendenning in front. Down he goes. Pert's into his back. Pert picks it up and clears. He's been a good player today. To Clayton, fumble. In goes Robertson. Kicked it, not a good one. A fumble again by Blakey. Hickey gets it out to Robertson again. A hurried kick back here to Larkin. Larkin gets around his opponent, Thornton, quite easily. Goes for a pass, looking for Ramsey. Coming out as Pert, picked it up and spins away. Beautiful, great play that time as the ball is driven away by Peake and up towards that half-back line. That'll be a mark to Clayton. But he's got the ball on the half-back line. 26 points the difference. Time running out for Fitzroy as we approach the 22.5-minute mark. The ball back to the centre of the ground again. Coming through is Ackley. Well, I mentioned Law and Schimmelbusch before, but this fella's not far behind them either, Pete.
15 kicks and 4 handballs.
Been a solid player, but we very rarely see him play a bad game. When he was playing with the Swans, he was a world beater. The ball back out there now towards Jimmy Cracker. Fumble that one. Cameron's right after. That'll be home. The man.
You would reckon.
Oh, if you don't mind, as Dwyer picks it up and clears the ball down towards the half-forward line. Coming in to meet it now was Harris. Kicks the ball off the ground. Reeves, it went between his legs. Then go McCann. Shows a lot of that. It was a great pick-up by McCann. Playing his 200th of the pass to Jimmy Cracker. Back it goes to Robertson. And North Melbourne get the ball away from the danger zone and it's out of bounds. Phil Cracker couldn't get there in time. It's out of bounds on the centre wing position. Oh, if that wasn't holding the man, I'll give the game away, Pete.
It certainly appeared such, didn't it, from our vantage point?
Waiting now for the ball to come back into play. It'll be McDonald and Rendell to go for the knockout. At the back is Larkin. Try to get a hand pass back that time to Hickey, showing plenty of strength. Over it goes now to Jimmy Cracker. Cracker's kick is out wide, looking for a series. Got it. That's a beautiful pass and a good mark by Little Asiri. Centre half forward goes for a pass out there towards Glendenning again. Pert and Glendenning. Ramsey at the back. Oh, they're all fighting there, and finally it's picked up by Hinch, and the umpire's found a free kick. It'll go to Glendenning. Don't tell me it was 6 or 1.5. It does with the other against those two, Pete. No, I think Pert might have been a bit stiff. Right on the boundary line, Glendenning.
Fitzroy supporters obviously thought so.
Well, I reckon too. I would let that go. It was pretty tough on Pert. And that's not saying that against Glendenning. It was a great battle between the two. There's the kick. Look at this for a kick, and what a goal it'll be. Oh, that's Fitzroy right up now. 24.5 minutes gone. It's North Melbourne 14-9, 93 to Fitzroy 9-7, 61.
Well, if we needed a clincher, that was certainly it. Ross Glendenning's second goal.
Well, there it is on the way. The magnificent kick by Glendenning. Might have been a bit lucky to get that free kick.
I suppose you often say you make your own luck, and Glendenning taking advantage of his slice there, being congratulated by Asiri. 2 goals, but of course Gary Pert has done a particularly good job on him right throughout the day. Schimmelbusch comes off, playing game number 296.
I reckon for a well-earned rest too, Pete.
And into the showers pretty quickly, I'd suggest. Rowan Robertson. And he's played a good game for the Roos too, just quietly under Larkin. He's not done much wrong. Gets it back to Phil Cracker. And for 4 quarters of consistent football, has been an excellent player. Hasn't been able to stop him. In fact, the Crackers, with a combination that set Northern Light in the first half of the match, when they opened up a 24-point lead, they've been able to maintain that. McDonald, 25, 9 Rendell. Getting clear there. That might be in the back, is it? Yes, it is. And the free kick going Fitzroy's way to Billy Loken. Loken from right half back. Ships it in short. Lakey. The back was Reeves. Crocker. Phil Cracker. Out of bounds. Free kick against him for tapping it out deliberately. And it will go to Scott McIver. It's about the first mistake he's made all day, isn't it, really? So McIver to take the free kick just short of the right half forward flank. 26 minutes into the term. McIver's gone for a pass, trying to find Reeves or Conlon. Socket away by Hickey. McIver might be able to get it again if he's quick enough. He's not. And this time a boundary throw in will follow. Now Jimmy Cracker, I think, involved in that collision there with Michael Reeves, who comes up limping. They both look a little sore. Harris and Blakey. Robertson. I think you'd have to consider putting him in the That's two, Lou. He hasn't done much.
Oh, he's been a fantastic player, Pete. He's been a very aggressive player. He's knocked up. Well, he's knocked up going in for the ball. It's not only getting them out of kicks, but the way he goes after. He's blocked, he's tackled, he's done everything right, young Robertson.
Reeves still in a good deal of bother. Conlon went for the soccer off the ground, not successful. Finally picked up by Bernie Harris. Now a chance for Conlon here as he takes the hand pass, but a good tackle by Law.
On the shoulder, Pete.
Umpires found a free for that, and it will be a free kick to Conlon, right on the 50-metre line.
And of course, Schimmelbutz is off the ground. His tag's left the ground because he's played a superb game, and North Melbourne, knowing they've got the game well and truly won here, Pete.
27 minutes into the final quarter.
Okay, about 2 minutes to go. 93 plays 61. Waiting on Conlon from about 50 metres out. There it is on its way. Made the distance okay, but it's out about. So it's not Conlon's day to day. 14-9-93 North Melbourne to Fitzroy 9-7-61. 27 and a half minutes gone at this last quarter. And of course, North Melbourne winning today has certainly kept their final 5 chances alive. Except for the first 10 minutes, they've never been out of the race. They've looked like winning it all day. They've been the more aggressive side. They've had better players, even though Rendell has dominated the rucks. They're smaller men, led by the 2 Cracker brothers, Asiri, and not forgetting young Robertson, have taken the ball away from the centre every time, and Larkin's in there too. Ball comes out now to Loken. Larkin after him on the boundary line, and it's out of bounds. There's the siren to win the game, and a good win to North Melbourne, and kept their final 5 chances alive. 14 goals, 9-93 North Melbourne to Fitzroy 9-7-61.
You want to be a real footballer? I've been a real footballer. You've got to look like a real footballer. You've got to go for the mark. The VFL mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark.
Go for the VFL mark at Myer. Real footy Guernseys, real footy shorts, and real supporters wool jumpers in all club colours and badges. Go for the VFL mark at Myer.
The Cracker brothers again displaying that cracker magic, even in the very, very wet conditions at the park, and North running out comfortable winners. North 14-9-93 to Fitzroy 9-7-61. Phil Cracker, 3 goals for North Melbourne, and Donald McDonald 3, whilst for the Lions, Bernie Harris 4 and Bernie Quinlan 3. Now, as far as the 5 is concerned, it's not good news for Fitzroy fans, but North Melbourne are still alive, as are Fitzroy. North Melbourne are currently in 6th position on the ladder. However, Fitzroy have slipped from 5th to 7th. So the next 2 weeks, all important to both North Melbourne and Fitzroy. And of course, you'll be able to catch all that action here on Pro Football.